Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to a brand new F1 Manager 22 series, Forza Ferrari. We put a poll up on the channel and said, you guys get to pick which team we run at the front with, and you chose Ferrari. So let's start a new career.
Formula One. Ferrari have entered Formula One every year since the World Championship began back in 1950. They still hold the most championship titles of any team. The team had a solid season in 2021, securing third place in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are very much in it to win it. With strong leadership over the 2022 season and beyond, expect to see them fighting for those podium places. If all goes well, they'll be aiming for that top spot as the seasons progress.
Okay, so Ferrari, probably the easiest team to get started with, but long term maybe not quite so easy. We'll have to see. Some of the Ferrari staff are fantastic, but they are also quite old, so there's a good chance that they will retire not too far off into the future. Let's have a look. High starting balance, very high, so we're going to have a lot of money to play with. Our car performance is the best. Driver performance is currently 3rd out of 10. Staff performance is 1 out of 10. And headquarters are 3rd out of 10. So a very strong outfit. There's our driver lineup. Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Antonio Giovinazzi. And a little bit of biography there for you as well. 15 Drivers' World Championships, 16 Constructors' Championships. Let's see if we can add one to each of those this season. How are you doing, guys in chat? Corey, Mr. Water, good to see you both. We're going to turn off first time guidance because we know what we're doing now. Don't need that. And here we are, our Ferrari lineup. So we have a very, very talented up-and-coming driver in Charles Leclerc, still very young. Let's take a look at his profile. His growth potential is low, well, it's average. He's also not very aggressive, which I'm surprised by, actually. I thought his aggression rating would be higher than that. But very good stats. Look at his cornering pace, his braking, his reactions, accuracy, control. Smoothness could be a little better, but that's not too bad. His adaptability is not so high though, and his defending is also not very good. That is also a bit of a surprise. I thought that would maybe be a little bit higher than that. Let's compare him to Carlos. Carlos, 27 years old, a little bit older. Same growth potential, slightly more aggressive. But when it comes to his stats, his reactions are nowhere near as good. He is better at defending and overtaking and adaptability, but then falls behind in smoothness and control. How can the smooth operator be that low in smoothness? That just seems a bit wrong. Braking's the same and not quite as good at cornering. So an interesting dichotomy of figures there. Let's take a look at their contracts. So they're both contracted for 3 years. So if we want to get rid of either of these two drivers, it's going to cost us a lot of money to do that. Contract length is, contract salary is 14.8 for Charles, 12.1 for Carlos. They've both got race win bonuses, but only if they win. 1.5 mil for Leclerc, 1.2 for Carlos. Look at the buyout fees, 20.9 million for Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz 17.1. I did actually have a quick look just for curiosity's sake. I scouted Max Verstappen the other day just to see what his contract was like. He has a 5-year contract and his buyout fee, he's salaried for like 25 million. His buyout fee is over 50 million because he's in the first year of he's in like year 2 of a 6-year contract or something like that. So he's horrifically expensive. But this gives us plenty of time to go ahead and replace Antonio Giovinazzi with a young up-and-coming driver that we can really push. God save the Queen. Yes, Anthony, very sad news today. For those of you who don't know, the Queen passed away today, unfortunately. So we have a new king, King Charles. It's going to be a little strange getting used to saying that. Hi Matthew, unable to watch the last two streams live, but you've seen them. Want to congratulate me on my wins. Thank you. Yes, they were hard fought, but it was really rewarding to get a win for both drivers. So I'm very pleased with that. Giovinazzi here has less than a year on his contract. I mean, his stats actually look not too bad, but he's 28 years old. I don't think he's going to be getting in the car anytime soon over Carlos or Charles. So I think, yeah, let's find a replacement. So let's go by age, and then actually no, we'll go by overall rating. Scroll down. We want to find a good, solid young driver. We could obviously go with Oscar, but we're already using Oscar on our Haas-Far. I don't really want to, retread old ground. As good as he is, I'd like to try someone else. One option is obviously Mick. Get him in, get him trained up to take over. But he's already established. It'd be nice to maybe bring somebody in who is not established. We've got someone like Jack Doohan, maybe. Who else could we look at? We could go with Théo Pourchaire. Who else could we possibly go with? If we go really down the list, then we start to find, drivers that are a long way off being ready. We could go Arthur Leclerc. We could go Charles' cousin. Let's scout him. Can you imagine having the Leclerc brothers racing in the same team? That would be kind of cool. Yeah, we'll look at maybe getting Arthur Leclerc. He needs a lot of work. He's only a 59 rated driver, but we'd have 3 years to train him up until Carlos's contract runs out. So, that could be interesting. Let's take a look at our staff. Enrico Cardile. 81, not bad. 46 years old. Only got 1 year left on his contract. Diego Tondi, best aerodynamicist in the game, but 61 years old. He's not going to be in the game for that much longer, by the look of it. And then we've got Javier Marcos Padros, who is Charles' engineer, 83. Ricardo Adami, who is Carlos's engineer. Let's take a look at their figures. They're not too bad. Very good at feedback. Pit crew management's not too bad. Okay. We may possibly replace these guys at some point, but for now we'll keep them as they are. Our pit crew, they're pretty good at tyre changing. Not so good at other stuff. Let's boost their front and rear tyre jack training to start with. Heard Football Manager is finally coming to PS5. That'll be interesting. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. And what are my thoughts on this game? I love it. I mean, it needs some work, but I love it anyway. I'm having a lot of fun with this game. Let's see. welcome to the team. Okay. Let's take a look at our facilities. So, car development facilities. Factory is a level 2, design's level 2. We have a level 2 wind tunnel, that's nice. We do need to boost our CFD simulator, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So we currently have the ability to do 2 projects with 10 engineers. We'll leave that as it is for now. Staff facilities, decent team hub, scouting simulator, race simulator. I want to boost the team hub, and I also want to boost the race simulator, and that's half our money gone. Operations, we have a decent boardroom, hospitality is not too bad, weather centre could be better, helipad could be better, we'll give that a boost. We want to bring in as much money from the sponsors as we possibly can, considering that if we are winning races, we're going to be paying out quite a bit of money in bonuses to our drivers. Memorabilia is okay. Tour Centre, let's give that a little boost. Tour Centre is nice and cheap, a very good way to earn some decent money over the long term. Let's take a look at our board confidence. Currently medium. What are our objectives? Season objective is to finish first. Okay. Long-term objectives, Constructors' Championship. We need to do that by the end of 2024. Okay. We should hopefully be able to win both championships this season. Our team's current rating is 805. We are the leader. Or we are a leader. I'm guessing Mercedes have got the highest rated team, possibly. Well, actually, maybe not. Okay. So I think it's time for us to go ahead and maybe look at some car part developments. We should have that new suspension that everybody gets. There it is. We have one of those. It gives us a slight boost to our high-speed cornering and improves our dirty air performance marginally as well. We're going to go and put that in Charles' car, and then we're going to also manufacture 2 more. We'll get those both in time for the next Grand Prix. And let's go ahead and look at designing a new part. Let's see, which way should we go? Let's take a quick look at our car. Show our rank on the grid. Okay, so 3rd in speed and acceleration. Very good at cornering. Engine cooling could be a little bit better as well, but that's not a huge issue. So it looks like top speed and acceleration is where we need to focus. So we need to build a part with those things in mind, because our cornering performance is currently best on the grid, according to the grid average. Let's actually take a look at our rivals, which our biggest rivals are Red Bull. Yeah, so acceleration is where we need to focus. That and our top speed. That's very much the case. So we'll go to car parts development. I think you'd be a better strategist than the Ferrari ones. Well, I can't be any worse, really, considering just how many points they've thrown away this season. They've been all over the place. How you doing, GP? So we need a new part, and we could go with a new chassis. We could go with new side pods, but we want to boost our DRS speed as well. So I'm thinking maybe a new rear wing is the way to go. We've got some hours, 4.8. It's not huge, but it's not horrendous. We'll go 2.4. Wind tunnel hours, we'll put half of our 64 wind tunnel hours. That's not many at all, is it? We'll go half of that, so 32 hours. So that's going to boost our drag reduction, our low speed, a little bit of a boost to medium and high. It's definitely going to improve our DRS delta. They are the most significant gains out of this. So let's put some focus into our design. We want to work on drag reduction, because that's going to improve our top speed and our acceleration. We want to improve our DRS delta a little bit as well, but not at the detriment to top speed too much. Airflow sensitivity, let's reduce that. And we'll have a slight reduction on the impact of our gains in cornering, but that's okay. If we reduce that gives us a 0.2 kilometer per hour increase in our top speed, boosts our acceleration force, gives us a nice good DRS improvement, a little bit of an acceleration boost. Doesn't really have too bad of an impact on anything else. We're going to go with that. We have 10 engineers available. I'm going to put 5 on that, and we're going to go intense. This is an expensive part, 2.8 million, but we will have it in 48 days. Okay, let's advance some time. I think we are ready. It's, do we want to throw a party time? The answer is always going to be yes. Why would we want to upset our our personnel for denying them a $10,000 party? I know the suspension's slow. We've got those on order already. That's fine. Okay, got our helipad result upgrade in. We have the results of aerodynamic testing, or pre-season testing. So we've already had a quick look at this, but you can see there a little bit more of a breakdown. Very strong car, very strong indeed. Helipad is upgraded. We're going to go and upgrade that again. Suspension is done. We're still on treated you to a 10k party. Yeah, you and me both. But 10 grand to Ferrari is it's like I think it's like dropping a penny. You know, I think that would be the equivalent. It's absolutely nothing to them. Right. Race prep for Bahrain. Suspension is manufactured. Let's go to the car setup because we need to put that onto Carlos's car as well. I wonder actually if we'll actually hear, if Carlos wins the race, whether we'll hear him singing Smooth Operator over the radio. That'd be so cool. I have played a fair bit now with Mercedes on my file with them. I've played quite a few races. I'm up to Silverstone, and I have yet to hear Bono say it's hammer time to Lewis, and I'm so pissed off by that. Right, our objectives. Reach Q3 with the one driver. Yes, that's going to be fine. Set the fastest lap. We can do that. Get both drivers in the top 4 for 5 races. We can do that. So, guarantee slots. We're going to guarantee both of our drivers in the top 4. I didn't save that. Confirm changes. Reach Q2 with both cars. I'm just guaranteed we're going to get both cars in the top 4, so yeah, that's no problem at all. Finish position. I'm going to guarantee that we finish on the podium with both cars. And for finish position streak, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to guarantee both cars on the podium for the first 3 races. I'm feeling confident. So that's our race prep and performance targets set. Let's go to the race weekend.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Okay. Let's start tinkering. So, car setup. We've got all the right parts on the car. We've got 100% parts for engine, gearbox and ERS, as we should at this point of the season. Let's go into getting these cars tinkered with. I'm going to go with an 11 wing, 7 front wing. Let's go with a pretty strong roll bar, a fair bit of camber and some toe. Let's see where that shakes out. We'll go with a 20 lap run. Driving options, once again we're going to look after that engine, so we're going to be slow in practice, but that does not matter. Same with Carlos's car. We'll go a slightly different way with Carlos's car. We'll go 11.5 on the wing, slightly less on the roll bar, push the camber all the way up, and a little bit more toe as well. Again, a 20 lap run, look after the engine, and we are good to go. How you doing, SITV? What's my thoughts on the Queen? Well, I've never been a huge fan of the monarchy itself, but I mean, you can't deny their
all good.
Their importance as a symbol to a lot of the people of the UK. She's had a damn good run. 96 years old, almost as old as her mother. She was 101 when she passed, I think. It's going to be weird calling Charles King and not Prince. It's going to be very weird. I mean, I'm in my 40s. He's been Prince Charles my entire life. It's going to be weird suddenly calling him King Charles, but. There we go. Our Scarlet Ferrari. Right, let's speed some time. Yeah, I mean, the royal family is largely just symbolic these days. They don't have any real power.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
I'm kind of unsure as to whether they should be abolished or not. I mean, obviously it would save us a fair bit of money, but I don't know. They're just so ingrained in British culture. I don't necessarily think it's the right thing to just abolish the royal family. I don't know.
Update when you can.
That's a good improvement.
Copy, understood.
Okay, so we've got feedback on Charles. Car is decent. We'll leave him out for a bit. Let's wait for Carlos.
The car is okay. Yeah, not bad. I think it's good for now. Okay.
Okay, Carlos is looking okay.
Oh, did someone run wide
Oh,
there?
Carlos is
Let's take a
looking
look at
okay
the
and
replay.
immediately runs wide.
Let's have another look. Science is the focus here. They've
Wasn't too
taken
bad,
that
just a
far
little bit
too
wide.
And now they're... Who's running wide there?
Okay, let's call them in now. This gives us time to tinker with the car and then send them out for another long run. Okay, Leclerc coming around to finish the end of the lap. Let's just speed that up just a touch. We're looking at potentially doing 2 races today. Okay, the traction is bad. Let's change that roll bar. We'll go with the 5.5 roll bar. Let's bring the front wing down. The rear wing angle was pretty much spot on, but obviously we've tinkered with that slightly by changing the roll bar. Let's change the camber there. Oh, I was looking at braking stability, not the rear wing. Let's put the rear wing back where it was. We do need to change our traction significantly. Let's give that a try. I think that might be pretty good. So let's put on a fresh set of tyres.
Pit lane. Okay.
Again, traction is bad, so we'll try a 6.4 roll bar on Carlos's car. Braking stability again, we got that pretty much spot on. We do need to change the front wing angle. Let's try that. Rear wing's not too bad. Let's change the camber. Let's give that a go. So again, we'll give a new set of tyres to Carlos as well. Both of our drivers have got to learn the new car, so they're only at 14% after that first run. It's going to take them a race or two to get up to speed with the car itself. I'm not actually sure if they gain knowledge of the car while they're racing. I don't think they do. They should do, theoretically, but I don't think they actually do. There we go. Both Ferraris back out on the track. And as always, practice times mean nothing because we're deliberately running very slow pace. We've had a lock-up for Charles at the last turn.
Seems to have been a lock-up. We can take a look now. Watch this. There's Leclerc. Oh, and there's the lock-up.
A slow Williams and a fast Red Bull. Yeah, not a good combination to have around us.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what...
Yeah, devastated that he ran a little bit wide and was able to continue it immediately. Devastating. Okay, so these guys are going to be out for the rest of the session. And then any changes that we need to make will change for the second session. Sainz improving, getting used to the car. He was considerably slower than Charles in the first run. This run he's a lot closer, just about a tenth between them. This is going to be an interesting dynamic for us as well. We're going to have two fairly evenly matched drivers. Okay, so we've definitely improved the car for Charles. Let's see if Carlos's car has improved as well. It should do. Oh no, it's still just good. Okay, a little bit more work needed there. Let's keep them running. Okay, that's not a bad first session. Got some very good track knowledge, made some progress on the car. Got the setups okay. Into FP2 prep. 90% already for Charles Leclerc. Okay, that's really good to see. We have lost the optimal. That's not ideal. Traction needs to change even more. We'll go to a 5.5 on him. Everything else just needs little tweaks. Try to see if I can tweak the rear wing without making a major change somewhere else. There we go. Let's go with that. We're going to go with 20 lap runs again. We're we're going to go on instead of hards this time. Once again, always lower the pace mode. I don't care where they come in practice. That's completely pointless. I'd rather look after the engines, especially if we have to push them during the race. Oh, we're very way off here, so let's go to a 5-wing there. Pretty close on the rear wing, or we were pretty close on the rear wing. Cornering improved. We're way off at the moment on our traction though. Let's go to back to a 5.5. There we go. That's not horrendous. We'll try that. Change the pace, and here we go.
And radio check when you can.
Radio check, okay.
Carlos is actually faster than Charles this time around. Like I said, this is going to be interesting for us because we're going to have two drivers who are very finely balanced between them. You know, when we were at Haas, we had an obvious gulf between Magnussen and Mick, and now with Piastri and Mick, it's going to be interesting to see how easy it is to stop, to manage them in terms of not letting one dominate the other in terms of results through team orders. We're going to try and keep both drivers happy, but at the same time we've got to be pushing hard for that driver's title as well as the constructors. So there are going to be times where we have to piss off one of the drivers and tell them to move out the way to make way for their teammate. So I'm kind of looking forward to that little challenge. Still no real improvement on Carlos's car. I didn't actually see what Leclerc's improvement was either. But we'll leave him out for another few minutes before we bring him in. I think we're probably going to end up backing Charles over Carlos simply because
Sounds like a spin.
he is a little bit quicker. Not much, but he is generally consistently slightly quicker. He's younger. He's a higher rated driver. It all adds up. Right, let's call them in. Of course, the biggest challenge we've got is making sure that the cars just don't set themselves on fire. Or that we actually have all 4 tyres for pit stops. Things like that. Okay, so we actually... That's still our highest confidence, but It's still a way off being perfect yet. Let's go with a 4.5 wing there. Let's dial that back a bit more. Let's give that a go. How you doing, JBS? Sad day for the UK and Commonwealth. Yeah, we've been talking about it. We have differing thoughts amongst us in the audience as to the role of the monarchy, but irrespective of that, you have to acknowledge the fact that, you know, it is a little bit of a black day. Okay, Carlos is ready to go back out already. And there goes Charles. So once again, we're going to leave them running till the end of the session. They're already gaining really good track knowledge. They'll easily hit 100% in the next session, but they are, of course, still gaining car knowledge. And we're trying to dial in those setups as well, so...
We've just had a spin.
Oh, Lance Stroll being Lance Stroll there.
I think someone's run wide.
Our pace isn't too bad considering we're running at low pace setting on hard tyres. Only a second off the Red Bulls. That's not too bad. We've got a very fast car under our hands. We should be winning this race. Okay, we've improved Carlos's car quite nicely. Get that nailed down in FP3. What about Charles?
Update when you can.
Yes, guys. Let's keep working with our units with good progress.
Copy.
Okay, Charles is pretty happy as well.
Yeah, very poor grip, I don't know why. Copy that. How are the tires?
Terrible. Okay, there we go. End of FP2. Track knowledge already up in the high 80s there. That's really good to see.
Today, we see the culmination of the team's practice efforts translate to the all-important qualifying session. Time and time again, we see just how little separates the drivers as they complete their qualifying laps. Those who have pushed that little bit harder during qualifying can be rewarded with a grid place that sets them apart from their competitors going into the race. What does today have in store? Only time will tell.
Okay, so we're going to run medium tyres today. We're going to do 19 lap runs, 83% confidence. Okay, we need to improve cornering. Braking is a little off, as is the front wing. Rear wing is perfect now, that's good. So I want to try and avoid messing with that if I can. Oh, I've just changed the roll bar, haven't I? No, I changed the rear wing. Don't want to touch the roll bar, I want to tinker with the toe and the camber. Okay, put the roll bar there, back where it was. Let's go with that. Driving options, change the pace. Let's do Carlos now. Mediums again. 19 laps, 85% setup confidence. Oh, traction's terrible. Let's change the roll bar. Bring the front wing down. Rear wing is close. We just need to tweak that slightly. There we go. I think that is a pretty good compromise. Let's see how they feel about those changes.
Can you check, Carlos? Can you hear me? Yeah, all good. Green light.
So, in reality, with Ferrari, I think one of the biggest problems that they've had over recent years is an almost stubborn insistence on having a lot of Italian mechanics in the garage, where it's almost like their nationality is more important than their actual ability. Almost like the opposite of diversity diversity management. They've kind of wanted to make sure that they have a very deep Italian core to the team, which I can kind of understand, but it's been to their detriment. And there are people still there that shouldn't necessarily be there anymore. Will be interesting to see how Mick does, seeing as I'm not managing him in the save. Yeah, well, I don't think he's going to be winning a race anytime soon, but it'll be interesting to see his performance against Magnussen. It'll be interesting to see if Magnussen keeps the car on the track as well.
The car is okay.
Yeah, all good. Good job.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the last changes we're going to be making. We've got them set up to 90. We're still not quite there. That could be it. It's very, very close. Let's go with that. Okay, we've got Sharkar up to 92%. Traction is a bit wonky. Don't really want to make too dramatic a change if I can help it. I think I might have to increase the roll bar on his car. That's right on the cusp. We'll go with that. So the knowledge of the track is already sorted. It's now just about fine-tuning the car, and hopefully, well, this is the last fine-tuning that we're making, so hopefully this is good. And just gaining overall car knowledge. Still that couple of tenths between the two drivers. Car is still great for Carlos. Let's at least have a look at it. See if we can see exactly where it's not quite right. Braking stability. Okay, that's unexpected, but we are very close. Okay, so we'll finish practice, get the rating on their confidence, which will be 93% for Carlos, and then we'll maybe look at making a tweak for quali. And let's take a look at. Oh, we've got him to optimal. Now, optimal could be 97%, it could be 100%. I'm hoping it's the 100. Boo! So close, 97%. Alright, well, that is the end of practice for us. I'm not going to send them back out, so let's just end the session. Now it is quali time.
Someone spun out.
Okay. Max and Sergio separated by about a tenth and a half. They're going to be tough to fight. We've got our setup confidence and performance bonuses done. So, what was it we needed to tweak? Just the cornering. Question is, which way does the cornering need to go? And can I change it without losing the optimal traction? And the answer looks to be no. We're just going to leave the car as it is. 97% is good. So we don't want a cool down lap. We've got all the right parts in the car. We haven't made to change anything yet. Let's take a look at Carlos. Carlos, we need to make a significant change to braking stability. Without screwing everything else up. That should do it. So again, get rid of the cooldown lap and into quali. Oh. There's a problem with the chat server, just restarted that. Hopefully I haven't missed anything.
I ready to check, Carlos. Can you hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Right, so we are not going to be running until the end of the session, and we're only going to be running once.
I think there's been a lock-up.
All we need to do is just make sure we get into Q2. We don't need to be setting the timing screens alight. We don't need to be doing multiple runs just to try and take provisional pole, which will mean absolutely nothing going into Q2. As long as we're in the top 15, that's all that matters. Okay, so the field is starting to go out. And here we go. Our first Ferrari qualifying session. Of course, we get a yellow flag now. We're screwed. Oh, we got a yellow flag. As soon as I open my mouth, we got a yellow flag.
Is that a lock-up?
For Alonso. Oh, here's it. Yeah, that's fine. That was gone by the time we got there. All right, where are we going to be when we cross the line? As long as we're above 15th, I'm happy. And we should comfortably be ahead, even though we've caught up to the back. Oh, we've caught up to the back of Vettel and Schumacher. Didn't think about car placement very well here. Carlos is through. He's in second. Very close to Verstappen. Charles Leclerc, purple in the middle sector. He takes provisional pole. Beautiful. So we're first and third. Okay, we're going to go out on the same tyres, and again we're just going to do one lap towards the end of the session. So we can save as many tyres as we need for Q3 and for the race as well.
Radio check, Carlos. Yeah, all good here.
I'm going to be a bit more careful on getting them out in clear traffic this time. So I'll probably send them out at the head of the queue. Send them out with just over 3 minutes to go, about 3 minutes 15, 3 minutes 20, something like that. Okay, so getting close. Time to go out. Rest of the field should start pulling out now. There we go. Yep. So we're on scrubs. Everyone else should be on brand new softs. Yep, they are. Leclerc looking very fast right now. And there we go. It's a 1-2 so far for Ferrari. 1/10 of a second between them. See how the rest of the field does. See what the Red Bulls do. Verstappen very close. Look at that. Just 16 thousandths of a second behind. Perez lagging a little bit. Alright, it's the all-important Q3. So, those improvements we made to Carlos's car, look, he's up to 98%. They definitely worked. That's good to see. We're going to put on brand new tyres now. And again, I'm just going to do a single run on brand new tyres.
Radio check. Yeah, ready is good. Green light.
Magnussen made it into Q3. So did both of the Alfa Romeos as well. And look at Gasly. Gasly's up in 5th right now. It's amazing how strong Alfa Tauri start this season to how rubbish they are, like 7 or 8 races in comparison. I'm going to send Carlos out first and Leclerc out last. And then we're going to ride on board with Charles because he is our best chance of getting a pole position here. So, have I gone a bit too early? Rest of the field not moving. Ah, here we go. There's the rest of the field. So Verstappen's on track quite early. I remember these guys are going to be on worn tyres now. They always go out on a brand new set of tyres at the start of Q3, and then they do a second run on the same tyres. So we have a chance to jump all of them with both cars here. Oh, God, I need to send out Leclerc, don't I? That's nearly getting sidetracked, and I forgot to send out Charles Leclerc there. We are going to ride on board with Charles to see if we can get our first pole position of the season. But before we do that, let's ride on board with Carlos. So does Carlos Sainz have it in him to take pole position? Sector 1 coming up. He's green, not purple. Oh, Verstappen, purple in the first sector. He's gunning for pole himself. Charles just starting his lap. Sainz improves, you know, is green in the middle sector. I think Perez is going to take provisional pole when he crosses the line. Not Perez, sorry, Verstappen. It's whether Charles can take it from him. Charles is coming up to the first split in just a moment. Sainz across the line. Goes purple in the final sector. Leclerc is not purple in the first sector. That Red Bull is mighty in sector 1, it would seem. Verstappen takes pole. Oh, by just 43 thousandths of a second. That was close. Right, we are purple in the middle sector with Charles Leclerc. Can we take pole position here? Come on, Charles. Across the line. And it's pole by just a fraction under 1/100th of a second, but it's pole position. There we go. 1-3 for Ferrari off the line.
It's time for the final touches here on the grid, ahead of today's race.
These past few days, Ferrari have been absolutely thrilling their fans. Now let's see if they can make the Tifosi proud by capitalizing on that grid position. This weekend, Red Bull displayed promise during qualifying. Now they need to capitalize on their grid position and get a good race under their belts. The weather is beautifully clear tonight, which is one less problem for the teams to face. Of course, that doesn't take anything away from the unpredictability of this race.
But which team has perfected the strategy that will see them prevail today, here at the Bahrain Grand Prix?
Yes, which team has perfected strategy? And which has just enrolled in clown school. Fuel is going to be an option right off the line. We're going to be underfueled. So that's not through choice. That's 110 kilos is the maximum amount of fuel that the car can carry. So we can't increase that. We are going to go aggressive off the line just to get into a strong position, and then we're going to just calm things down and manage our fuel loads, manage our tyres and engine wear. We're not going to be pushing hell for leather like we have been with Haas, because you know we're in a fight for the constructors, so we need to really look after those engines. We can't afford penalties because that could derail our championship completely. So we have to be really careful here. So we're going to stick to regular strategies. We're not going to try risky one-stops where we have to push hard to do it. Let's take a look at Carlos. Carlos, I might start on the medium. Give him a bit more pace at the end. Also give him a good strong shout at getting fastest lap at the end as well. So we're going to do that. We're going to split the strategies slightly. Let's make sure he attacks off the line. Yeah, we've done that. Alright, we are ready to race.
Clear skies tonight, with the drivers having now arrived at their grid positions. And there's Charles Leclerc. They're starting today at the head of the pack, but will they be able to stay there? And further back, there's Sainz. They're up in third position, tantalisingly close to pole. And we're just moments away now. Here we go with the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
Okay, no team orders at the start. Leclerc makes a strong start. Keep an eye on Sainz for a moment. We are going to be speeding time up in this series, so we're going to be running at ×2 and ×4 for the majority of the race. Oh, that's a great overtake. And now can I get both cars to stretch away?
Ferrari, advance the race position.
Let's get them on full deployment. Oh, we've got an incident on in sector 2.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
Stroll being Stroll. So I want to break the Ferraris away as quickly as I can. Make sure we're out of DRS range for the start of lap 3. And then we can settle the car down and just look after the fuel, look after the tyres, look after the engines. And I do ideally want there to be just over a second gap between the two cars as well, like this, so that they're not fighting each other and slowing each other down.
DRS enable, okay.
Okay, there we go. So let's calm everything down. Let's put them both back into harvest mode.
Charge button on. Yeah. And big lift off. Okay.
And let's see how we can do like this. Got to keep an eye on the gap to Verstappen, make sure he doesn't start closing back up while we're charging up. Two and a half seconds is a fine little gap at the moment. When it gets under 2 seconds, I'll turn the charging off. He should be a little bit quicker than Sainz, given that Sainz is on mediums. I know the tyre balancing needs a bit more work. There isn't much of a disparity in overall pace between the softs and other tyre compounds. We're ready to turn off charging now. And let's just keep an eye on that gap. We're going to try and maintain, or maybe even slightly extend if we can. Got to make sure he does not get in DRS range, because then he'll be all over the back of us. And we'll have to push the car hard to break that again. Okay, so it looks like the gap's holding at around 1.8 seconds. So let's speed time up a little bit. Because we are planning on doing 2 races, so we'll be here forever if we watch this at full time. Verstappen is starting to close a little bit. Just going to up Carlos's pace briefly. There should come a point where the tyres on the soft runners, so Verstappen, Leclerc, will fall away. Okay, that's enough. Let's see what everyone is on. Oh, Sainz is the only one on mediums. Everyone else is on softs. And the Red Bulls have been pushing their tyres pretty hard. That's unusual. I don't normally see that. The Mercedes as well, and the Alfa Romeos. I mean, you look down further down the field, and then you see, you know, the better tyre wear of Norris, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Schumacher, Vettel. I mean, they're not driving as fast, so they're not putting as much load into the tyres, but even so. Tyre wear's looking healthy. Take a look at lap times.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Oh, Perez is locked up.
Replay. So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez. Well, they've locked up. They won't have been happy about that.
Oh, look at that queue of traffic that's just gone through, or about to go through. Did they get him?
The team are really disappointed with that.
Did he get back on in time? Let's have a look. I got jumped by Russell. But yeah, he's now stuck in that traffic queue. Hamilton pits. He's coming off the mediums already for another set of mediums. Okay, that 15 laps, that's not long. That is really not long. Let's pay attention to this battle. Perez has got past Russell. I would imagine he'll start pulling away, but given that's a big train, I think Russell and Bottas at the very least are going to get dragged along with him. Maybe Gasly as well. And if Gasly gets dragged along, that means Zhou and Ocon could also be up there as well. There are some gaps starting to stretch a little bit in this train. Zhou's in danger of being dropped here at the back of the train. He's having to fight off Ocon, who's all over the back of him. I think another lap and Zhou's gone. Russell gets back past Perez. Ocon's pitted. So Zhou now has the chance to push back up and get back involved in this train. Perez and Russell side by side. Hamilton running in clear air right now. He's 5 seconds behind Mick Schumacher, but closing. Second clear of Ocon. So he's been able to use that clear air to get enough of a gap to Ocon to drop him. So they were in that same DRS train together, but there is now clear air between them, and that clear air is getting bigger as well. Ocon has gone on to hard tyres. Interesting. So there's a real chance now that Hamilton might come out behind these guys, or these guys might overcut Hamilton because they're running on Perez's pace. I think Hamilton's going to come out behind, or these guys are all going to come out ahead of Hamilton. There goes Russell around the outside. Our guys are just keeping it nice and comfy at the front of the grid there. We are going to pit Charles Leclerc. Verstappen's in the pits. There goes Russell, and there goes the queue. Okay, so now we need to keep an eye on what's going on with Hamilton. Is he going to get out ahead, or is he going to get ahead of these guys? He's going to come out behind Perez. Perez is already out of the pits and into turn one right now. So yeah, or is that Verstappen? That's Verstappen. Perez hasn't pitted yet. Oh, he just about gets back into the queue, but he's behind Russell and Gasly, and Gasly's got a gap. Russell has a chance to pull away here. It also means that Gasly is vulnerable to Hamilton. This is something I'm quite intrigued by as well. The fact that our guys are just going to be off at the front, there's going to be very little for us to look at. It allows us to look at the fights partway down the field as well. So let's see, can Hamilton get past Gasly on this DRS straight? Bottas has caught up to him already. So Bottas is going to have DRS. Ocon has been dropped. He's 2 seconds behind Bottas.
Box.
Here comes Hamilton. Can he get past? No, he can't. .6 seconds. That's a decent stop for Charles Leclerc there. Where is he going to come out? Perez is into the pits. Are we going to be comfortable against Verstappen? And the answer is yes. There's Verstappen just coming across the line. So we are very comfortable there. Hamilton surely has got to move up here. Gasly's taking the defensive line. He is kind of blocking. Hamilton not finding his way through. And Perez has jumped. Oh, we've got a crash.
Let's take a closer look. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one.
Taken out by his former teammate, Valtteri Bottas.
There. Oh, there's chaos on the track. And that was a bitter blow for the team. and it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Oh, Hamilton's up and running again. Bottas is still stuck on the thing there. He's got a penalty. Now he's up and running. He's got damage to both his front wing end plates. Who knows what damage Hamilton's got to the back of his car. He might have some minor rear wing damage. He might have some minor chassis damage or underfloor damage. Bottas has definitely got front wing damage on both ends of his front wing. Look, you can see there's no end plates left on that car. Okay, a bit of drama. Leclerc 20 seconds behind Sainz. Is that enough to get him ahead? I don't think it is. 25 seconds for a pit stop here. Okay, let's keep an eye on Bottas. Hamilton's caught up to the back of Zhou already. Someone else has spun. Who's had a spin?
Oh, there's a spin!
Magnussen. Oh, Magnussen was in that pack, wasn't he?
All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. What a spin!
So Magnussen finding the lack of traction on that corner yet again.
A big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll
That
see.
looked deliberate by Bottas. No, I don't think it was deliberate. It was definitely a mistake, but let's keep an eye on Bottas. He's got to pit at some point. Is he going to pit this lap? He is. He's going to change his wing, and he's going to have a 5-second penalty, I'm guessing, before they can even start work on the car. So we're just going to see the mechanics just frozen in place. It's going to look like the game's crashed or there's a glitch. It literally just pauses the animation for 5 seconds. Oh, it's a slow stop as well. Oh, because they're changing the front wing. Okay, Leclerc's actually catching Sainz. He's on fresher rubber, so that kind of makes sense. The gap between him and Verstappen's gone up to 6.5 seconds, so Ferrari absolutely romping away with this one right now. Let's keep another close eye on what's going on up and down the field. Perez up behind Russell now. And that didn't take long. Can Russell stay with him though? Hamilton gets past Zhou and immediately loses the place. Ocon's in that fight as well now. I was trying to think Ocon was like seconds behind, but of course Hamilton got T-boned. Well, not T-boned, he got rear-ended. Which is why he's further back than he should be. Okay, we're into the pit window for Carlos. Going to put him onto another set of mediums.
Pit confirm box.
Yeah, copy the box.
So he has got a 26-second gap at the moment to Verstappen, so he should come out in front of Verstappen. But if we get a slow pit stop, and we know what the Ferrari pit crew is like, then you know, we could lose a position to Verstappen here. What tyres did Verstappen go on to? He went on to mediums. Got a back marker in front that looks like a Williams. It is. That's Latifi. Oh, what the... what the hell happened there? We just went straight through him. Okay, that was weird. Okay, are we clear? There goes Charles. Oh, we're very clear. I didn't even get the chance to see the pit stop because I pressed the wrong button and went to time 16. But, oh, we're comfortably clear of Verstappen. Look, 3 seconds behind Charles. Slightly fresher tyres. That gap may close ever so slightly. Definitely faster. Going to be better off than Verstappen. So... Okay, right. Speeding time up again. Let's have another look at the field. Any battles going on? Perez is a second behind Verstappen. What happened there? He's closing back up. He's going to get DRS again, so he's going to take Russell here on the main straight, you would imagine. Or if not here, then on, into turn 4. Yep. Got him in the under braking at turn 4. Hamilton is now up to 7th. 4.5 seconds behind. Russell's got past again. These two fighting like this is helping Hamilton try and close that gap back up. He's got past Joe. Can he stay ahead of him? That gap's coming down a lot. Joe having another look, just powers his Ferrari engine past him there. Magnussen's still flopping. Yes, Magnussen's down in 15th right now, behind Mick. There's no question that Hamilton is faster than Joe, but every time he gets held up and can't pass Joe, that gap to Perez and Russell opens up again. Joe's actually doing a good blocking job right now. Again, blocking Hamilton. And that gap's gone up to 5 or 6 seconds now. It was 3.5 seconds a moment ago. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. Not sure what's going on there. Stroll being Stroll. Hamilton's through. The gap's gone back up to 6 seconds. Can he stay ahead? No, he can't. He's been overtaken again already. Hamilton just needs to be able to break away. Get clear enough that he doesn't get past in the next DRS zone. Blocks the move there. Can he keep it blocked here? He can. Stroll is awful. Stroll is Stroll. There goes Joe around the outside of him. But again, you see, them pushing like this has allowed them to catch up. Oh, Verstappen. Not Verstappen. Perez has dropped Russell and has just posted a new fastest lap in the process. And that gap, no, that gap's not going to come back down again now. Not unless Perez gets held up by Latifi, which is possible. Russell trying to stick with him, but can't. Hamilton still... Oh, there we go.
We are the fastest car on track.
New fastest lap for Charles Leclerc. So we were 0.3 of a second faster on our lap. Okay. That's cool. But Perez, yeah, he's pushing, he's dropping Russell. Hamilton and Joe, they are locked in this eternal conflict of just overtaking each other on the DRS straights. That Alfa Romeo is fast in a straight line, especially with DRS. And this is where he's going to get him again. You watch, he's just going to go either around the outside of him. Hamilton goes defensive. And there he goes, straight round the outside. We've got a fuel warning. Okay. Oh yeah, we are a little low on fuel, aren't we? Okay, let's conserve a bit of fuel with both cars. We've got a gap to do that.
And we need some lift and coast.
Copy.
We've got 5 seconds between the two cars, and Verstappen is 9 seconds behind us.
Copy that.
Hamilton blocked again. His race has been absolutely ruined by Bottas here. He would be well clear of this, but he'd have been up there fighting with Russell and Perez. But he just can't get free of Zhou. Every time he gets past him, he immediately gets caught in the next DRS zone. There he goes again. It's just, yeah, there's nothing you can do. He's like that till the next next round of pit stops, I think. If we head down the field, oh, we got a crash. We've got a big crash in sector 1. We've got a VSC.
So virtual safety car deployed. Virtual safety car deployed.
Okay.
Okay, let's ignore for a second.
And it will be DRS off.
Sounds like a few cars have crashed.
Nothing to do with us. I missed the replay. Damn it. Perez's car looks okay, I think. Who else is in sector 1? Latifi. His car looks okay. So I missed exactly what happened there. Oh, Ricciardo's got a penalty. So maybe the sector was wrong. Ricciardo has a penalty. He's in the pit. So him and Magnussen have had a coming together. Yeah, Ricciardo's missing an end plate. Magnussen's missing his entire front wing. Was Mick caught up in that? Now Mick looks to have escaped. Ta-da! New front wing. Oh, when he gets out ahead of Ricciardo. Oh, of course, Ricciardo had the pit stop, didn't he? Had the penalty. So, yeah, more drama going on. And once again, Magnussen caught up in things. Innocent victim this time, but we got plenty of fuel saved.
So
Let's up the pace again.
Virtual safety car ending. Virtual safety car ending. And so no lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
You are doing a good job. We did lose a couple of seconds to science under the virtual there because we were conserving. Alright, let's look. Where is the nearest bit of action on the track? It's going to be here, I think. Norris, Alonso and Tsunoda. Just coming into the final corner. Hamilton is pitted, so he's got some clear air at last. He must have pitted under the safety. Did he pit? Events. Can't see. Lap history. Hamilton. Yeah, he pitted. He pitted as soon as that VSC came out. He pitted. Can't see what tyres he changed onto though. Let's have a look. He's on mediums. Oh, it's the tyre history, isn't it? Yeah, so he went on to a fresh set of mediums. He's going to be running to the end. And he's got a chance to get ahead of Zhou now. Who is in the pit window? Oh, it's Charles. Okay, it's not quite there yet. It's getting close. What do you guys think of this new style of watching the race for these Ferrari races? Are you enjoying the flitting around through the field, looking for the drama, looking for the fights, rather than focusing purely on our cars? Because I mean, we're going to be just running so far ahead for quite a few of these races that we're not going to see anything if we do it like we're doing with Haas. Zhou and Gasly locked in eternal struggle now. And Hamilton's really closing up. He's just 8.5 seconds behind Ocon now. So he's, what, 11 seconds behind Zhou? Thanks to his pit stop. Alonso's in. Okay, pit lap for Charles. Let's put him onto a brand new set of softs.
And box now, box. Really good lap time.
Sainz takes the fastest lap. Verstappen's in the pits. Sainz has got loads of life left in those tyres. He doesn't need to pit for a while yet, but obviously we still have to pit him because he's only run one compound so far. Russell has pitted and come out behind Hamilton, so Hamilton's really capitalised on the safety car there. Zhou is now a long way behind. He is 12 seconds behind. Leclerc's in.
Did somebody spin out there?
Oh, and Hamilton
Let's see
spun.
what happened there. Now,
Just praising
watch
how
the
well he's been
Mercedes
doing,
here.
and then, whoops.
They spun the car. What a disaster!
Hamilton having a really bad race now. he's been rear-ended by Bottas. He's got stuck in an endless DRS shuffle with Zhou. He gets some clear air and then he spins and loses a place to his teammate. Oh dear. Perez in the pits. Perez is going to come out with Ocon side by side. And he's been dropped already. Okay, let's bring in Sainz for his brand new set of tyres.
Box, Carlos box, speed confirm and box.
Yeah, box.
We've got a huge gap to Verstappen. Look at that. He's the fastest man on track right now, but he is 15 seconds behind Charles Leclerc.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Sainz going to drop out in between the pair of them. Yes. Mick getting cheeky, trying to find his way past. Oh, and he's gone off. I think that was Mick.
They've locked up and gone.
No, it was
straight off.
Magnussen. Of course, it was Magnussen. There we go. A 1 second pit stop. Leclerc takes the fastest lap. So it's good to see that some things never change. Magnussen throwing himself off the track twice. So we are 6.7 seconds behind Leclerc, 8.5 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Sainz has got a chance of stealing fastest lap off Charles here. I'm not going to interfere, I'm not going to push, no team orders, we're just going to let them race. Whoever gets it, gets it. As long as one of them gets it. That's all that matters to me. Hamilton trying to fight his way back up to his teammate. Running 5th and 6th right now. Zhou has been dropped by Gasly. Bottas is now running in 10th and fighting with Alonso and Norris. Let's keep an eye on this for a little while. Bottas had his infamous moment earlier in the race. And it dropped him down a little bit. Let's just keep an eye on whether he can pull away. We've got another yellow flag. As Alonso goes screaming through. Norris almost gets through. And it's Perez having another wobble.
So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez.
That's nothing. That cost him a 10th or 2. That's fine. Cut to the garage and the mechanics, going, "Oh!" like it's the worst thing ever. Like the car has literally just exploded into a million pieces. Bottas trying to go around the outside into turn 1. Can't make the move stick. Has to back off. Now he's vulnerable to Norris. Norris can't get the move done because Bottas had DRS on the back of Alonso. But yeah, this is the fight on track at the moment. These three here. Let's watch it from inside the cockpit. Alonso running wide briefly. Can he get him? Oh, look at the speed of Norris there. He just catches up, but then he's got nowhere to go. Oh, Alonso sneaks his way past. Hamilton is closing. He's just 1.5 seconds behind Russell now. Could be an interesting scrap between those two for 5th. Verstappen has taken fastest lap again. I might get both my drivers to up their pace just to get the fastest lap. We'll do that with a few laps to go. Alonso gets Bottas. Norris can't get there. Oh, there we go. New fastest lap for Leclerc. Let's take a look at the lap time. Half a second faster than Verstappen's attempt there. And we've lapped everybody so far up to Mick Schumacher. Next up is Tsunoda, who is how far behind this battle? 8.5 seconds behind this battle. So I don't think we're going to catch up to this fight before the end of the race. Although you never know, these guys keep holding each other up. It's entirely possible that Leclerc may catch them. Leclerc looking fast again. Does not improve the fastest lap time. Magnussen still behind Mick Schumacher. And Latifi way behind everybody else. He is 32 seconds behind his teammate and Stroll. They were scrapping. I think they've just been lapped. Yeah, Zhou's going past them right now. Gasly's just lapped Albon. Stroll has just been lapped by Zhou. That's going to increase the gap because Albon's going to try and hang with Gasly as long as he can. Although, having said that, Stroll's going to hang with with Zhou as long as he can. The gap between the two Mercedes still 1.5 seconds. The gap between Sainz and Verstappen's getting bigger. That's up to 12 seconds now. We've just lapped Latifi again. He's going to be 2 laps down now. The Williams is so bad. When you start a campaign with them, it's such a bad car. Yellow flag in sector 3. Was that a bit of drama with some lapping? It's Stroll having a lock-up. Stroll doing a Stroll. Again. That's what, the 3rd time he's had an oopsie this race? Personal bests here in the 1st and 2nd sectors for Carlos. Not enough to get him a pole to get him fastest lap though. But he's still looking fast. He's coming up on the back of Latifi. He's going to get DRS here. Maybe. No, not quite close enough. And now he's going to get held up slightly. So that opportunity for fastest lap was gone. We are catching up to the back of Tsunoda. Tsunoda is slowly catching the battle in front, but there's not enough time. I'm going to give both my drivers the chance to have a crack at the fastest lap. So let's slow time down. Where are they both? They're both on the start of a new lap. Okay, so we'll let them get to the last straight, and then we'll turn them up for just 1 lap. Just on tyres. Someone's locked up again. Is it Stroll again? Or Magnussen again? I saw that comment. I'm going to read it in a second.
I think there's been a lock-up.
That's Russell. Oh!
Here's the replay.
Does that mean Hamilton gets through?
Here's George Russell. They've locked up, but that could
Yeah,
have been much
Hamilton's going to
worse.
get his teammate. Okay, so both of the Mercedes having
The team
wobbles
had
this race.
such high hopes.
Right, let's get these tyres turned up and the engine turned up and a full deploy
Copy.
for both drivers.
DRS.
Give them a chance to do something special
We can
for 1 lap.
more.
Copy.
I honestly don't know who's going to win this. I mean, in terms of the fastest lap, Leclerc's going to win the race. That's not in doubt. But
And 2 laps to go.
Sainz has got fresher tyres. Leclerc's tyres are at the point where they're now going to start dropping performance. And he may potentially come into traffic as well. I don't think he'll get it this lap, but he'll certainly get it next lap. He'll be turning him down anyway, so that won't be an issue, but Sainz's tyres getting a little hot. Okay, Leclerc is fastest so far. I should do a career mode with Magnussen and Stroll just for a lap. I think you're trying to kill me. You're trying to just make my head explode. Leclerc's going to get fastest lap by the look of it. He's purple. Carlos is going to need something mighty in the final sector.
And last lap. We should slow down.
Yeah.
Sainz does not get fastest lap. Not surprising, but we are going to just turn the car down
Slow
now.
down now.
Okay.
Let's ride on board with Charles for the final lap. Actually, there is drama still. Oh, that lap car is going to cause Bottas to drop out of DRS, maybe. Certainly going to get him to fall back. Can Norris get Bottas on the last lap? If he's going to do it, he's got to do it on the next straight, on the run into the final turn. If I'd pushed Leclerc sooner, he could be influencing this fight because he's not far behind them. Norris can't find a way through. They've got one more lap.
Okay, and checkered flag.
That's Leclerc across the line.
Well, this was incredibly difficult.
What do you mean incredibly difficult? This was the easiest race you'll ever have. Cheeky bugger. Or maybe it was just difficult adapting to the fact that his team's doing strategy properly, maybe. This is the only fight on the track right now of any real significance, and it's potentially for the final point. Alonso, 0.8 of a second ahead of Bottas, who has got Norris squirming all over the back of him. I think Bottas is not going to get the point. I think Alonso is safe, but Norris definitely going to threaten Bottas here. Who's got a visual glitch and his DRS wing is open. Got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Oh! Charles has run out of fuel. Charles Leclerc has run out of fuel. Bottas can't catch Alonso. Can Norris squeeze through up the inside? No, he cannot. Bottas P11, Norris in P12. There's not enough time to the line for him to get alongside. He's going to have a damn good go, though. He's going to have a go. Oh, that was close. That was really close. But he couldn't quite get it done. Oh, no, Sainz has run out of fuel as well. So that push lap killed the fuel of the Ferraris.
Weekend. Never have a team been more deserving of a podium. Everyone must be ecstatic.
Oh, he's doing the Sebastian finger. Verstappen doesn't look happy. He does not look happy.
And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today. A lovely occasion as we see all three drivers clearly relishing their moments on the podium. I don't think Ferrari will be too disappointed with that result.
Just a really solid
You put
showing
Stroll in
out
a
there,
Mercedes,
which
he
is
finished in the
exactly
points in the
what
first
they
four
need.
races, got 5th at
After an
Australia.
intense weekend,
Why
the
would
team
you put
ends in
Stroll in
first
the best
place
in
the
one of the best cars
constructors'
on the grid?
standings.
The
Stroll
team
doesn't
now
even
look
deserve
ahead
being
to
one of the
next
worst cars
round,
on the
where
grid.
they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
Well, there we go. We got P1 and P2, and we got the fastest lap as well. combined with pole, that's a grand slam for Charles Leclerc. Pole, fastest lap, and the win. And we take a nice healthy lead over Red Bull at the start of the season in the constructors as well. Mercedes getting decent points. AlphaTauri with some points. Alfa Romeo should arguably have scored more, but Bottas just torpedoed the back of Hamilton there, and that probably cost him more than it cost Hamilton. Alpine picking up some points as well. Ocon and Alonso both getting in the points there. Alpine 9th and 10th. So, yeah, good run for Zhou in his debut race. Picking up 8th place. In terms of experience, we're not going to get any for our drivers. Let's push on. This just advertises drink driving. Well, technically it advertises driving then drinking, as opposed to drinking then driving. So, big payout in terms of our sponsor income, because we hit our objectives, but 1.5 mil paid out in a driver bonus to Charles Leclerc for winning the race. Still, we made a profit. Okay, emails. Engine cooling of car 1 could be better compared to the rest of the grid. Yes, we know about that. Adaptability performance of Charles Leclerc could be improved. It's going to be a while till he gets points. Borge watched the race at Bahrain and could not be happy, led the team to victory. Be assured, wins like this will increase the board's confidence in you immensely and will guarantee you job security and funding in the seasons to come. Tour Centre is done. Let's upgrade the Tour Centre. I'm going to upgrade the Weather Centre. Memorabilia room's fine. Car development facilities. We are working on a CFD simulator update. Wouldn't mind another design upgrade, but that is a little beyond our budget right now. Only a little bit. Race simulator still being done. Team hubs being done. Okay, that's it for those. We've got no new parts coming for a while, so we're going to push straight on to Saudi Arabia. Let's just upgrade the helipad again. Helipad's done. Yep. Race prep. Let's do our performance targets. Number of drivers. Just want one to qualify second or better. We can do that. Going to guarantee that both drivers reach Q3, and by way of extension, both are going to reach Q2. Fastest lap is the objective. Finish position. We're going to aim for another 1-2. Quali position and finish position, they're already locked in. Let's get the car set.
Formula One is back. Welcome to one of the fastest circuits on the calendar here at Jeddah. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is about to kick off, and the atmosphere here is electric. The Jeddah Street Circuit has one of the fastest average speeds, as well as the most corners of any track on the calendar. Good high-speed downforce is going to make life in the fast lane a little easier for drivers here this weekend. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. The weekend begins here.
Okay, so what can we do here at Jeddah? Let's see, car parts, we're not going to touch those. Our gearbox took a bit of a punishment in the first race. Look, 86% over the first race weekend. That's quite high usage. I'd like that to be a little easier. Car setup. Gonna run a lowish front wing. Gonna run a 11 on the rear wing. Roll bar. Gonna go high on the tyre camber. Let's drop that rear wing down a little bit more. Change the toe. There we go. And that could be a nightmare to drive. We'll have to wait and see. Go 20 laps. Run plan. We want to go low. You see this here, look at the fuel usage. This is what everyone ignores, and this is why they've all been complaining about the fuel delta being so so aggressively fluctuating at the start of a race. It says here the delta projects how many laps the car can travel relative to the finish line and is more sensitive early in the race. A negative delta means you won't finish the race under current conditions. Use the conserve fuel command to improve your fuel delta. It's a prediction. Everyone takes it as though, oh, I've actually got this much spare tank fuel in my tank, but it's not. It's a delta. It's a prediction based on your current performance. So I've seen so many people complaining that, oh, the fuel delta's broken. You know, I should have all this extra fuel, and then 2 laps later it's all gone. What's going on? You know, no one reads. We're going to go a very different way with Carlos's car. We're going to go with a high front wing. And we're going to go with a lot less toe. Let's see which way that changes out.
Radio check.
Yep, all good.
Green light.
Once again, we're not going to bother pushing in practice. I'd rather look after the car, make sure those engines last as long as they can. We're just trying to dial in the setup right now, get used to the track and gain more car knowledge. We're up to 83% now. That will change once we put the new rear wing on. We'll have to start relearning the car again. But we should be at 100% by the time we finish practice.
Update when you can.
Charles is not happy.
I'm struggling so much. So much.
Understood?
Yeah, just come out and say it, the car's shit. Okay, rear wing is... Oh. Rear wing is a little bit too low. Let's change that. Let's up the front wing. Braking. Let's go like that. Change the toe. That might be too much of a change on the rear wing actually, but we'll see. Don't have enough laps on the tyres, so we'll drop that down to a 12 lap run and or 10 lap run, then we'll change the tyres.
Pit lane.
Copy. Speed limiter on and speed limiter on.
You're experimenting with a few save files. Was one of those let's do the most ridiculous thing we can possibly imagine in Formula 1. Trying to think who would be a worse candidate for Mercedes. Latifi maybe? Nikita Mazepin? Maybe. But he's not in the game.
the car is okay.
Okay, Science is
The
happy.
car feels neutral.
Copy.
We'll leave him out till he runs out of fuel. Oh, we've got a big crash. What has happened and where?
But it was safety car.
Okay.
Sounds
Vettel's
like
out.
there's been contact. We can
Vettel's
take
been
a look
T-boned,
now.
I think.
Now, just watch the Mercedes here.
Oh, he's going to get taken out by Russell. Russell's having a stinker. Oh, that's a big
And
impact.
that's a big smash. They'll have felt that.
Okay, so that's going to be a penalty for Russell. He's not having a good start to his career at Mercedes here. Send Charles back out. How long's left in the session? 35 minutes. We may as well call Sainz in now. Tinker with the car. Get him back out on a fresh set of tyres.
Really?
Yeah, you get some big impact crashes here at Jeddah. Yeah, especially if there's a lockup like that at turn 1. I've seen a lockup like that from 2 cars behind, where it just took out all 3, all 3 cars. The one at the back and the 2 in front as well. Oh, that car is not good. The rear wing's perfect. Front wing's not good. Let's drop that down to a 6. Roll bar. Let's go with a 9-1 roll bar. Actually, no, an 8-2. That line's a bit aggressive. Let's try that. Front wing needs to change because we changed the other settings. Yeah, let's go that way. Let's see how that does. So, new set of tyres. Make the changes. Send that Carlos. Just calling Charles. Replace those tyres. Remember we sent them out on the original set.
Copy.
We can change tires, right?
Yes, Charles, you can change tyres. Okay. So the car is improving in some areas. The braking stability is still bad. Let's go ahead and make some changes based on this almost complete feedback. So let's change the roll bar a bit. I don't know what's going on with cornering. We do need to try and keep well, our roll bar was still bad last time, wasn't it? not sure which way to go with the braking stability. I'm going to try that. Let's give him a brand new set of tyres, send him out. Hopefully we'll get feedback before the session ends, but if we don't, it's not the end of the world, because we can just do that into second session. I'm not going to be running Giovinazzi as a test driver. I don't see the point. But once we replace him, which we are scouting, Charles' cousin, Anthony, if we do go ahead and sign him as our reserve driver, then we will be running him a lot. And we'll alternate between our drivers as to which one goes out, which one sits out. Alright, so we've got an improvement with the sights. Excuse me. Sights is happy, very happy with the car right now. We're going to leave him out till the end of the session. He's got enough fuel to keep running for a bit. Got probably about 8 laps of fuel, maybe 9 laps of fuel. He won't have time for that many laps, but we'll let him keep running. We still don't know what's going on with Charles. He's only halfway through his feedback, so just keep the time sped up. We could see quite a bit of drama at this race. I think there's a... Oh, Leclerc ran out of fuel. Damn it. And the car is not good. Okay. Rear wing's pretty good. Traction's pretty good. Just need to make some minor tweaks there. Braking and cornering are terrible. Got to make the biggest changes I possibly can to the car in that respect. Have to push the front wing a little bit. Let's go to an 8, 7.5 maybe. That's very little change to the I'm trying to watch out for the traction. Let's give that a try. Have I had a red flag in any of my saves yet? I've had a couple of red flags. I had one where it just ended the session and that was it. And the session was only like, it was practice and it was only like 10 minutes long and then just ended it. Then I had one in a race where the race was only like 3 laps old and then it just paused the race. One of my drivers retired, so because it was only 3 laps in, I just restarted the race. But he got taken out by someone, I think. But yeah, I've not had one where I've completely, fully been happy with the way it was implemented yet. So maybe we'll get one in this. Yeah, who knows? This would be the race, actually. If we're going to get a red flag, this would be one of those races where it could well happen. This and Monaco. Leclerc's not going out for the rest of this session. There's no time. So I've just let Carlos pookle around until the checkered flag. There it is.
Yeah, very poor grip, I don't know why.
It's because your tyres are shit. That's why.
Okay. How are temperatures?
Okay, look at the track acclimatization difference between Charles and Carlos there. And he's very happy with his setup so far after just 1 day of running. 89%. In fact, just one session. Not even 1 day yet. Okay, we've made the changes already to Charles' car. Let's see what we can do to tweak Carlos's car. Traction needs a big-ish kind of step. Changing the roll bar is going to be an easy way to make a lot of minor changes and that one major change without affecting the rear wing. Is that the wrong way though? I think it might be. Let's go with a 9-1. That, I think, could be an instant optimal setup. Let's give him a 20 lap run. We'll put him on the hards. And again, low pace. Put Charles on the hards. Let's put Charles on the mediums. Because we've still got to tinker with his car a fair bit, so we'll save the hards for the final session where he can just run and run once he's happy with the setup. Driving options, drop that down. Okay. Into FP2.
Radio check, Carlos, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Green light.
Nope. Forgot that it was a pit lane going out to the left. It's one of those rarities in Formula 1, an anti-clockwise circuit. Let's move him out the way of Charles, who's on faster tyres, so he's going to be lapping at faster pace. Yeah, anytime you're ready, Carlos. There we go. And we should see Leclerc pull away from Sainz now. It won't be massively faster, but he'll incrementally, gradually pull away. Unless they get stuck with traffic. Like this. Oh, we've got another crash. It's turn 1 again, I think. Another VSC. We'll ignore the VSC. I think it's a big crash at turn 1. One of the Red Bulls is involved, I think, and Norris.
Let's have a look. Watch this. We're looking at Lando Norris.
Oh, it's Max. He's gonna just torpedo Norris. Whoa, that's a big one.
And it's crystal clear who was in the wrong there.
So that's going to be Norris out of the session, Verstappen out of the session, and that's got to be a penalty for Verstappen as well. It's got to be. Let's have a look. Yeah, so Russell got his penalty. And there's Verstappen's penalty. So that's 2 cars taken out in this session, 1 car taken out in the previous session, 2 drivers with penalties, and all the cars that have been taken out having severely reduced runtime, which is going to compromise them come race day. Because they're not going to have the track knowledge and they're not going to have as much time to get that setup dialed in. We've now not got Latifi in the way of us. Now both cars are cleared.
Update when you can.
Yes, guys. Let's keep working with our units with good progress.
Copy.
Okay. Good improvements on Leclerc's car. I want to see if Charles is going to go optimal. That's what I'm waiting to hear, because I think he's going to go optimal with these changes that we've made. There we go.
Okay.
Optimal setup. That's what I was waiting to see. Magnussen's had a
Let's
moment.
see what happened there. Now just focus on the Haas.
Whoopsie.
They lose it there. That's the spin.
I am not. I'm not at all sad that we got rid of Magnussen at Haas. Okay, a few more minutes and then we'll bring the cars in. Best decision I made. Yeah, I think so. I mean, you've only got to look at the results that we had when we had Magnussen compared to the results we've had since we've had Piastri. I mean, admittedly, Piastri's had a car that's been upgraded, but even so, Magnussen was in points-paying positions every time he had a wobble. He had the chance of those good results and he threw it away 3 races in a row, and that was just enough
Copy.
for me. That was also like, no,
Speed limiter on and speed limiter on.
can't accept this anymore. Okay, we're not too far away with Charles here. His car is at 88%. I need a change to braking. That might be the change I need. Need a little tweak to the front wing. Trying to remember which way we went with Carlos's wing. Let's have a look. Actually, Carlos's car is in the pits right now. 100%. Look at that. Beautiful. We can't do the same setup for both drivers because their tolerances just aren't the same. But I can try and get something similar, I think. So while we've got him here, he's on the tyres, he's fine. Run plan is 30 minutes left, so let's up his run plan to 25 laps and just refuel him basically and send it back out. So Carlos's car was that, and there you can see the tolerances just aren't the same. So we can't do the same setup and get the same results. We have to make some compromises. So we need an 8.2 roll bar. That much is pretty much, I think, where we need to be. I need to make a slight change to the front wing. I'm going to go that way. I want to try and close the cornering as best I can. This is where it gets tricky. I might have to drop the front wing instead. It's just that little bit bit too much. Maybe... It'll get us close. I don't think that'll quite be it, but we'll go with that. So we'll just refuel the car and make those changes. Science will be out again in just a moment. When you get the game, you're definitely going to try to try reserve drivers with Williams. Yeah, I mean, my recommendation would be to do what I'm doing: replace Latifi with Piastri, because Piastri's got the talent and the ability to go straight into the car and be better than Latifi. Just work on improving his smoothness so he doesn't eat his tyres so fast. And then once you get him to a place where he's a bit more comfortable looking after his tyres, I would say maybe 55 on the smoothness, then you can maybe look at spreading those points out in other places if you wanted to. And then whichever driver you go for as your replacement reserve driver, you know, I went with Théo Pourchaire, but I mean, you could go with someone like Jack Doohan, you could go with Dennis Hauger. There's quite a few good choices out there. Jahan Deruvala would be a decent shout. But whichever driver you choose to be your reserve driver, just use him in every race. Albon's only got 1 year left on his contract. It'll cost you like 6 million. It'll cost you, I forget exactly how much it'll cost you to break his contract at the beginning of the season. It'll cost you a good 2-3 million, I think. So my recommendation would be to just get in a very good F2 driver who's in the high 60s, low 70s. Just put him in the practice car and then run him in place of Albon in FP1 every race. And then at the end of the season, just don't renew Albon's contract. And promote your reserve driver into the second car slot alongside Oscar. And then you can get a really good, young, promising, up-and-coming talent from, say, F3. Got to be 18 to sign for an F2 to sign for an F1 car, so you do have to be wary of that. To sign for an F1 team, you just have to be 18. That rule was brought in after Max Verstappen debuted, so you can't sign a 16 or 17 year old. You have to wait till they age up. But put a good, young, talented 18-year-old in the reserve team and just train him up as and when you think is appropriate. And you'll have two young, up-and-coming, talented drivers in the car with a slightly younger, maybe, and certainly a lower-rated but with good potential driver in the reserve seat, gaining knowledge, gaining experience whenever you take him out on track, and just gaining passive experience in the background as well, so that in time you can look at if it gets to the point where Oscar wants too much money on a contract renegotiation, or the second driver you have isn't quite cutting the mustard, or you want to get rid of one of them. You've got a decent option that you've been training that can drop in and replace them.
Can we try something with the tires?
That would be my recommendation. It's just a shame you couldn't make a team like Jordan, but hopefully they can add that down the line. Well, Jordan still technically exists. Jordan is Aston Martin. If you follow the lineage back, Aston Martin was Racing Point. Before that, they were Force India. Before that, they were Jordan. I think it was Force India that bought Jordan. I'm trying to remember if there was anything in between the two. It's like Mercedes. The all-conquering Mercedes team was Brawn. And before that, they were Honda, which were awful. I'm trying to remember if Honda were a brand new outfit or if they took over someone. You can trace the lineage back on most teams. Ferrari are independent, obviously. Williams are independent. McLaren are independent. Red Bull were Jaguar, and before that they were Stewart Racing, I think. Yeah, they were Stewart Racing before that, and before that I don't remember who they were. But I would love them to have a My Team race manager feature in this way. You can create your own constructor. And you would have to pick your driver lineup from either reserve, current existing reserve drivers, or from. Well, I mean, that would be an added difficulty where you could only pick from, say, reserve drivers or F2 drivers. But I mean, theoretically, I suppose you could sign anybody. Before Honda, it was BAR. So Mercedes is the same awful team that Jacques Villeneuve drove for when he left Williams. Five minutes left in the session. Charles has got no tyres left, but we'll keep him out as long as we can. Sainz is fine. Leclerc is feeling great about the car, but not optimal. So that's something to work on for FP3. Let's see. We know Sainz is 100% with the car. If you look at Alpine were Renault. Before that they were Lotus. But they were Lotus Renault, not the Caterham Lotus. Before that they were Renault. I think they left sport for a while before they came back in. But the team that was Renault in the 90s and 2000s, before that they were Benetton. So, a lot of teams, they just changed the owners. You think Stewart was a new team? I think they were a new team as well. I mean, that's back in the day when it was a lot easier for new teams to get in if you had the financial backing. I mean, you go back to the early as far as the early to mid 90s, there were lots of teams trying to race. That's back when you had Prix Qualifying. If you didn't set a time within a certain cutoff, you didn't even qualify to try and qualify. You didn't even you try and qualify for the race, and if you failed to reach a certain time limit, you weren't even allowed to take part in the race. If you were too far off, they had a set rule which fluctuated, but for a while was the 107% rule. So if your time was more than 107% of the pole position time, you just weren't allowed to take place without special dispensation. But there are loads of teams that were around for only a couple of seasons, or would only qualify for the odd race here and there, and then usually folded if they couldn't get regular qualifying or regular races. And even when they did, they were usually way at the back of the grid.
Welcome back as we continue our race weekend with practice soon to finish and then qualifying hot on its heels. Yesterday's action gave us a fantastic taste of what is to come, and the anticipation within the paddock continues to grow. Qualifying promises to be as unrelenting as ever. Only the best, the most consistent drivers can progress from one period to the next and stand a chance of earning a place at the front of the grid. You're going to want to join us for this, folks, so fasten your seatbelts.
Right, so P2, no, this is P3, isn't it? Okay, so we ran medium tyres for Charles last time, so we're going to run hards this time. We want, oh, he's up to 96%, that's good. We just need minor tweaks. We want to run him long to get his track knowledge up. Let's see, what do we need to tweak? Braking and cornering, okay. That should do it. Might lose the traction. Yeah, I can't change the front wing. I'm going to have to try that. Hopefully that doesn't take away from the traction and that stays in the optimal range. Same with the front wing. But I don't have the necessary flexibility to put the braking where I want it, which is to the left. So we just have to go with that and hope that that's enough. Carlos, just going to run him on mediums, just one run, just to get his knowledge, and then we'll pull him in. So we'll get him running for 30 laps. And we'll pull him in as soon as he hits 100%. Yes, Stuart was the car that Ruben Barrichello made his debut in. I'm trying to remember who his teammate was.
All good.
Green light.
At least I think it was his debut. I know he certainly drove for them very, very early in his career. I think they were his debut team. And you look at Sauber, they're currently Alfa Romeo. Before that, they were Sauber again. Before that, they were... who were they before they were back to partial ownership? There was someone else. I'm trying to think. It might have been... I think there was something between them going back to being Sauber. I think there was another team then, and then I think they were Sauber briefly before that, and then they were BMW. Before that they were BMW Sauber, where they were still Sauber with just BMW engines before BMW made them a works team. And then just before that they were just Sauber on their own. Felipe Massa started with Sauber. I'm trying to think, which one of the teams became did Toyota become? It wasn't AlphaTauri, because Toro Rosso. Oh, we've got a crash.
There was a crash.
Yeah, go.
Is it turn 1 again?
I think that was a crash.
No, it's Perez on turn 16.
Let's take a closer look. We're just watching the Red Bull.
Oh,
And there we see the crash.
oopsie-doodles. I'm trying to think what happened to Toyota. I know Toyota just pulled out. I'm trying to think who bought Toyota. Was it Renault who bought Toyota? Was that how they came back? Yeah, I would normally be Googling this, but obviously I can't use my phone to do all this because I'll lose the chat window. Hey, there we go. We've got an optimal setup. That's what I was hoping to see. So let's pull Charles in now just to check that that is exactly what we need it to be. 100%, baby. So we need to get his track knowledge up. So we're going to give him a good long run time here. So we're going to run him for 30 laps. Oh, there we go. Carlos has hit 100%, so we're just going to call him in, and Carlos is done. I'm trying to think if Prost folding was what became Toro Rosso. Because I know they were Ligier before they were Prost, but I couldn't tell you who they were before they were Ligier. Maybe Tyrrell. Stewart might have taken over from, might have bought out the remains of the Tyrrell team. I don't know. Yeah, we're talking nearly 30 years ago for some of these team changes. My memory isn't that good. We are closing in on 100% knowledge for Charles. Both drivers have got perfect setups for this circuit. They've both got 100% car knowledge as well. Jan Magnussen, yes, thank you, that was it. Was that Barrichello's debut team, Stuart? Or did he debut for someone else? I'm pretty sure it was Stewart. There we go. We've got Leclerc up to 100%. You know, like the BMW cars back in the day. Yeah. BMW, they started out with Williams, I think. They were the engine supplier to Williams when Williams lost Renault, when Renault pulled out the sport. And then BMW started supplying engines in partnership with Sauber, and then they actually bought the Sauber team and ran it as a works team for a couple of years. And then they pulled out the sport completely. Alright, so let's see. We've got Russell and Verstappen on penalties. We've got limited running for both of those drivers. We've got limited running for, was it Lando? And who else? And Vettel has limited running as well, but that's not really an issue, because that's not going to affect us in any way. Love to see this. 100, 100, 100. That's what we like to see. So, into quali. We are going to do cool down laps. We're not going to change any car parts. We don't need to at this stage of the Grand Prix season. And we're just going to do single runs in sessions 1 and 2 on the same tyres for both sessions.
Yeah, all good.
And just wait till Q3 to really go for it. I'm going to send the drivers out now while there's a bit of a window. And there we go, that's their one run. Oh, Leclerc got held up a bit by Perez at the start of the lap. But that's enough to get him through to Q2, so The Benetton livery when they were with Schumacher, I think was their camel livery, but did you see their multicoloured United Colours of Benetton livery before that, where the car was like a harlequin, almost every different body panel was a different colour. It was weird. They were green, yellow, and red, and blue. Yeah, it was a very strange looking car. I remember when Jordan first started, they were like the 7-Up team. Very dark green. I think they were even sponsored by 7-Up when they first started. But one thing I always remember about Jordan is how they were quite clever with some of their rebranding, because obviously that was in the era when tobacco sponsors were still very heavy in the sport, but you know the sport was clamping down. A lot of countries and areas were clamping down on allowing tobacco sponsorship in the cars, so they had to change them. So when they were sponsored by Benson and Hedges, they had a snake decal on the front of their car, and so whenever they ran in a country, mainly a European country, that didn't allow tobacco advertising, instead of Benson and Hedges it said Bitten and Hisses on the side of the car. And then after a couple of seasons of Bitten and Hisses, they changed it to a Hornet on the front of the car, and then Benson and Hedges became Buzzin' and Hornets. And that's back when you had Marlboro sponsorship. They just did the black lines instead of the word Marlboro on the McLarens. And then when McLaren changed to West and had their black, silver and red livery, instead of having West written across the side of the car, they had Kimmy or David written across the side of their car, depending on which car it was. Some teams just basically ran kind of censored versions of the liveries, but you know, a couple of teams like McLaren and Benetton were quite clever. Not Benetton, sorry, Jordan were quite clever with how they got around not having that sponsorship, you know, livery, you know, as it was originally intended. Michael started his career at Jordan. Yeah, he had one race at Jordan at Spa in 1991. He qualified 7th. I think he retired after 3 or 4 laps. And then the very next race, because of a contract loophole, he was driving for Benetton. And then the following year, he got his first win in 1992 with Benetton at, I think it was 92. Got his first win at Spa. You remember Ralph Schumacher at Jordan, the yellow livery? Yeah, that was back when they were sponsored by Benson and Hedges. So I don't know if he was in the Benson and the Bitten and Hisses days, or whether he was in the Buzzin' Hornets days. I think he was the Buzzin' Hornets. Because I think he was teamed up with Frentzen at one point, and then I know Damon Hill drove for them. When he left Arrows. Because Damon famously left Williams at the end of 96. Frank Williams had already made the decision to replace Damon Hill with Heinz-Harald Frentzen. And ironically, that decision is what caused Adrian Newey to, you know, say enough is enough. You know, he wasn't happy about not being involved in the leadership of the team, and they had an agreement with him that he would be involved. And then Patrick Head and Frank Williams made the decision to replace Hill with Heinz-Harald Frentzen without consulting Adrian Newey, and so he quit and went to Mercedes, and then Mercedes improved very quickly. They were very strong in 97, and in 98 and 99 they won the Drivers' World Championships with Mika Hakkinen. I'm trying to remember why he left McLaren. It might have just been the challenge of a new team with Red Bull, and a big fat paycheck as well. But I don't know if there was an underlying reason why he left McLaren for them. All right, both cars are on their lap. This will be enough to get us into Q3. If you remember in '97, Damon Hill very nearly got Arrows a win at Hungary. He was leading, and then he had a problem with the car, and he had to slow the pace down. And in the end, Villeneuve caught him and passed him. And he ended up coming in second. But that would have been mighty, because nobody expected Arrows to be there in terms of their pace. And Damon Hill just got into the lead and was comfortably ahead until his car developed that fault. And they never ever got close to that position ever again. And then after they lost Hill, I think Hill only drove for them for 1 year. That's when Hill went to Jordan after '97, and Arrows just kind of limped on for another few years before they finally just went out of business. Right, new tyres on both cars. Yep, there we go. Ready for Q3.
And radio check.
Radio check again.
Alright, I'm going to send my drivers out first. I think I might have gone a little bit too early here. Oh no. Oh no, okay. Phew. I started to panic then. I was thinking I've gone too early. I'm going to hit traffic on my hot lap, but I think I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine. So, Verstappen is probably our biggest threat for pole position right now, even though he's currently 7th. He's going to be the last car to cross the line. Perez is going to be a strong threat here as well. We haven't got to worry about anybody else. It's just Perez and Verstappen that we've got to worry about here. Sainz takes pole. Leclerc beats that by 1/10.5. That's a big gap to Perez, actually. Did he get held up slightly in his first run? I don't think he did. Have we really got that much pace over Perez? Let's find out. Perez crosses the line and goes P3. He improves, but not enough. What about Verstappen? Verstappen splits the two Ferraris, but it's close. Sainz is only just off him. And Sainz has technically got another lap by the look of it, but he's going into the pits, so... Okay. Oh, and Verstappen's got a penalty as well. I forgot about that. That's going to bump him down the order.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
Ferrari performed brilliantly during qualifying and will be very pleased with their grid positions. But the challenge for them will be to keep the momentum going during the race. This weekend, Red Bull displayed real promise during qualifying, but will they fulfill that potential by the time they reach the checkered flag? There are a few clouds here tonight, but the sky remains mostly clear. Will it stay this way, or will the weather throw a spanner in the works?
Well, this
Can
is
you
certainly
imagine
going
this
to
as
be
a wet race?
challenging, but no doubt exciting race here in Jeddah.
It's got to happen at some point randomly, surely. There'll be a wet Jeddah. I'd love to see that, actually. That'd just be carnage. Right, so strategy time. I am going to go for the one stop on this. I'm going to have a look. At starting on hards. There we go, strat B. We'll do the same for Carlos. Nope, didn't save the change. Oh, deleted the stint by mistake. Let's get them pitting on separate laps so they're not tripping over each other. Okay, that is good for me. Fuel. We could throw an extra lap of fuel in there, but I think we'll be okay. We can always ease their pace down a bit. No. The pawn chat is back. There we go. Driver options. We're going to go a little aggressive off the start, but not overly aggressive. We're going to go with full deployment. Actually, no, we're at the front, aren't we? Yeah, we're just gonna blast off at the front, just to put some gap between us and Perez. So we'll go full deployment rather than overtake, and just try and get that DRS train, broken before it even starts.
With the sky is mostly clear, tonight's race shouldn't hold any unpleasant surprises. And there's Charles Leclerc. He won today. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. There's the other Ferrari. A second place start for them today. They're in with a real chance. The teams are ready to go. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Okay, so where is Verstappen after his penalty? Fifth. So it's only a three-place penalty for Verstappen. Russell down in 10th. Yeah, so three-place penalties for those collisions that they caused. Leclerc gets away in the lead. Carlos all over the back of him. Once again, no team orders. Don't worry about that, Mr. Watto. If I see them, I'll delete them. And we are blitzing away from Hamilton. Just going to run one lap like this, and then we're going to calm the car down. The fact that Hamilton is in front of Perez is good for us. Verstappen has already jumped up to 5th. He's gained back 2 places. He's got past Bottas and Alonso. Let's watch this battle for now. Sainz looking, maybe trying to line up a move. But having Hamilton in front of the 2 Red Bulls is a great bonus for us. Because, they are faster than the Mercedes right now. So it's just enabling us to really go for it. Oh, there's a lunge. Perez side by side. Doesn't get the drive. Hamilton chops him. Oh, and the Red Bulls are getting swamped. Can Bottas get involved here? Can he get between the 2 Red Bulls here? No, he can't. But they're fighting for position. I think Verstappen is through. Can he keep the move gun? They're side by side, and Perez slots back in front of Verstappen. Okay, dramatic start. Let's drop everything back down to neutral.
And big lift off.
Copy.
Lift off needed.
Copy.
And let's go on board with Max. Perez is already, outside of DRS range to Hamilton. We've got a 5-second gap. As soon as that DRS opens up, Verstappen's going to nail Perez, because Perez does not have the DRS to defend. And then he's going to be chasing after Hamilton.
DRS enabled, DRS enabled.
So Perez's best bet is to catch Hamilton on this lap. He's 1.3 seconds behind. Can he do it? If he can get on the back of Hamilton, which I think he might well do, he'll be safe. Oh, he's so close. DRS activation coming up. That's the detection point. He didn't get it. He doesn't have DRS. Max does. He's gonna jump him here, look. Surely. There we go, up the inside. I'm surprised that no other teams invoke team orders as well. Oh, look at that closing speed. I mean, Verstappen being held behind Perez there. Perez is on hards, Verstappen's on mediums. You need to make sure that Verstappen gets ahead of Perez ASAP. Because every lap that he's held behind, his race is compromised. His strategy is compromised. But the other teams don't seem to enact team orders, which I think is a little bit of a shame. That would make the game a lot more dynamic, I think, if the AI would also implement team orders like that. Verstappen surely is going to get Hamilton. Gap up to Hamilton is to Sainz is already over 7 seconds. Verstappen desperately trying to find a way through. Hamilton defending brilliantly to hold him back. We've got a bit of a train forming behind Alonso. You've got Bottas, Ocon, Gasly, Zhou, Russell, all in a DRS train. Oh, there's the move. And he got the DRS as well. No, he didn't get the DRS. Hamilton got it and is right back on his tail. Oh, but Perez is through. Okay, so both the Red Bulls are through now. They've got 8 seconds to go. Or 8 seconds to catch up on. Okay, let's take a look at the DRS train behind Alonso. So you got Alonso, Bottas, Ocon just about clinging onto the back of that train at the moment. 0.8 of a second. Then behind him you've got Gasly, behind him you've got Zhou, behind him you've got Russell. Let's see if Russell can move up through the field a little bit. Don't forget Russell had that 3-place penalty, which dropped him down to 10th, and he has subsequently lost another position as well. The Red Bulls have now dropped Hamilton, so he's going to end up a distant 5th at this point. And they are catching Sainz. Not by much, but they are starting to just eke that gap down a little bit. Meanwhile, we have a 6-car battle for 6th place here. Gasly is about to drop out of DRS range, so there's a real risk that this could become 2 separate fights here. And Gasly has lost DRS. Or did he? No, I think he actually kept it. So we're back up to a train of 6 again. One car locks up there, they're taking out half the train, if not all of it. Right, Alonso's gone. He's just off. He managed to break away and he's just left the Alfa Romeos for dead. They are fast. Can they pull away? They've almost pulled away from Ocon. Ocon trying to stay in range. He's having to defend. He's just about kept DRS there, I think. Zhou all over the back of his more experienced teammate. Is he going to get him? He does. Oh, Gasly gets Ocon. Ocon fighting. They're side by side. Gasly makes the move. Real drama. The Red Bulls are dropping back because they're fighting each other. This is doing us favours. Sainz is getting all up on the back of Leclerc. Oh, and Perez is through. That's a great move. I just hope my guys don't take each other out. That would be a disaster. Like I said, we're not going to implement team orders. We're not going to say stay behind your teammate. At least not for the first half of the season. Maybe towards the end if things start getting a bit iffy. But to be honest, I think we're just going to walk this season. That's why I was kind of hoping you guys would choose Mercedes and not Ferrari. Because we would have to fight to stay with cars and get ourselves in strong positions. But I think we're going to absolutely walk this season with Ferrari. And these two still battling each other as well. So there's a fight for first, there's a fight for third. Alonso 4.5 seconds behind Hamilton. Zhou and Bottas, they are closing Alonso down again. They've almost caught back up to him. In fact, Bottas has caught back up. So it looks as though these guys are leapfrogging each other in the DRS zone to reel in Alonso here. Ocon still just about clinging onto the back there. He's outside of range right now. Can he get back alongside under braking? I don't know. Did he get DRS? Yes, he did. Russell trying to find his way through. Still can't do that. Magnussen has still not crashed yet, which is perhaps a bit of a surprise. Oh, and we got a pit already. Our first pit. Ricciardo on the softs going onto the hards. Is that a one stop or is he going to stop again? Latifi pits as well. A lot of DRS trains going on here. Magnussen has got Norris and Tsunoda behind him. Mick is a long way back. He's 10 seconds back. So Mick not having a great race at the moment. He's on mediums. Magnussen is on hards. So Mick's either had a wobble or has just been unlucky and got dropped by the DRS, and he should theoretically be catching. He's on better tyres, but yeah, he's just not. He's dropping further and further behind Magnussen here. Russell still down in 11th, can't make any progress. Gasly has been dropped by the train, which now consists of Bottas, Alonso and Zhou. So that separation of classification of the cars, the AlphaTauri, not the greatest of cars in this game. You can see that the Alfa Romeos, which are very fast, especially at the beginning of the season, are pulling away. Gasly has been taken by Ocon, who's going to try and sprint away. Russell all over the back of Gasly. He's starting to just fall like a stone now. I think he's going to get taken by Russell here. Russell up the inside. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he can. So now it's Russell and Ocon 3.5 seconds back, but have they got the pace to close in? If Russell can get in front of Ocon, then yes, they will have the pace to close back up and reform the train. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. What was that for? It's still there.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Magnussen's had a lockup. Of course he has.
On Kevin Magnussen here.
This is exactly what he did when he was racing for me.
Yes,
That's exactly that corner as well. Of course Magnussen had a wobble. And now Mick is just 2 seconds behind him. There is Russell making the move on Ocon. And he's already pulled out over a second because Ocon got a bad launch from the corner. So Russell's going to pull away from those and get onto the back of the train in front of him now. How are our boys doing? They're still fighting right on each other's gearbox like this. Sainz having a look, but Leclerc holding him back. I am getting nervous that they're going to take each other out. Oh! Sainz almost had the move done for a minute there. He got past this lap, but he just couldn't quite get it. Perez all over the back of Verstappen still. Hamilton's now nearly 8 seconds behind. He is 8 seconds behind. 5 second gap to Alonso with Bottas and Zhou right behind. Russell pulling away from Ocon, trying to get onto the back of Zhou, and he's closing. Ricciardo stuck behind Stroll, who's stuck behind Vettel. That early pit stop has not done Ricciardo any favours. Sainz takes the lead. Can Leclerc get him back? 10 second gap now to the Red Bulls. How are we doing for fuel? We are fine on fuel. With them kind of swapping places with each other like this and drafting so close to each other, they are saving fuel. And when they switch positions, it allows the car behind to save some fuel. So you can see Sainz has actually got a couple of kilos of fuel more than Leclerc right now. Because he's been behind him for so long. Leclerc has got back through. Now Sainz retakes the lead. Very back and forth between these two right now. Verstappen into the pit lane. And so is Zhou and Gasly. And Mick and Albon. My guys are a long way to go yet for their pit stops because they're on the hards. Is Perez coming in this lap? No, Perez is on hards as well. Let's see, where are the gaps? Oh, Bottas is all over Verstappen here. Let's take a look at this. Ah, that's what I was looking to do. Oh no, he's been dropped. He couldn't keep up. He's on worn hard tyres against new hard tyres and a much faster car. So yeah, that chance of Bottas running interference against Verstappen kind of negated a little bit here, unfortunately. Russell has caught right up to the back of Alonso. He's only just outside of DRS right now. Yeah, Ocon nearly 4 seconds back. There aren't any real close battles going on right now, apart from the one between our two boys up at the front of the field. Sonoda pits. Sainz trying to find a way through, but can't. Oh, here he goes. Sainz moves into the lead. He still has the fastest lap at the moment. I'm sure Charles is going to want to try and get that back at some point. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the pit stops. Carlos is undercutting Charles here by 1 lap in terms of pit stop. So he'll be coming out onto fresh mediums. Will he be able to pull out enough of a gap over Charles to break the DRS train? And if that's the case, can he then hold on to the race win? Or will Charles have enough natural pace to close him up, get back in DRS and overtake him? It's going to be interesting. Not going to lie, I did deliberately make sure that it was Carlos who was coming in first in the pit stops. For that very reason, to see if it would add a bit of spice to their fight. Verstappen now has caught up to Hamilton. Let's see if he can get through. Or is he going to get held up? So this is giving Perez all the advantage he needs in the fight between the 2 Red Bulls. If he's going to make the move, it's going to happen on this straight, I think. But there's a chance Hamilton will come back at him. Oh, no, Hamilton's blocked the move. Now Max looks to the inside. Can he get him under braking? Hamilton blocks him again. Okay, Hamilton holding Verstappen back right now. This is disastrous for Verstappen's race. He's going to drop behind Perez. My guys are going to come out comfortably ahead of him at the moment. And when Perez pits, he's going to come out ahead of Verstappen, I think. Potentially, or close to him. Let's see, what is the pit lane time on this one? 25 seconds. Okay, so the Ferraris will get in front of or get between Perez and Hamilton. They'll be up in front of Hamilton. Which means they'll be ahead of Verstappen. But what is going to happen when Perez pits? A lot of gaps opening up now from those earlier DRS trains. Alonso is close to Russell, so Russell has got past Alonso. Then there's a big gap to Ocon, then a gap to Norris, then a gap to Magnussen, who's got Zhou right behind him. There's only a couple of little 2-car fights. The rest of the cars are all kind of separated out right now. Oh, there is Max making the move. Can he defend? Hamilton will have DRS to come back at him. Leclerc overtakes Sainz. Sainz is now in the pit window. And Verstappen is closing. But he's been passed by Hamilton again. Oh, disaster for Max. Let's take a look at Carlos. He's getting close to his pit. Trying to shape a move up the inside. Makes the move. He's going to have DRS. Charles blocks him, but he just powers through. Side by side still. I'm really hoping that the pit stops will put a little bit of gap between the two of them. I get nervous seeing them fight like this. How you doing, David? Okay, just a couple more laps to go. I could have underfueled these cars, really. Leclerc retakes the lead. Sainz pitting at the end of the next lap. You know, I wonder, could I change Leclerc's strategy? Put him on a set of softs instead. He's got new softs. I'm going to do it. I'm going to shake things up a bit. I'm going to let Leclerc run long and put on a set of softs at the end and see what happens. That'll certainly create separation between the two. Sainz will probably take the lead over Leclerc. And then Leclerc will have those soft tyres when he pits to really fight back. So Leclerc's probably going to get the fastest lap. Sainz takes the lead, going on to his boxing lap. He's still going to come out ahead of Verstappen. He should come out comfortably ahead. Currently 28 seconds up the road. And Hamilton is still all up in Verstappen's face. Dutchman's race is being ruined here. Okay, here we go. Pit stop time.
Pit lane. Copy.
So Leclerc retakes the lead. Perez is going to come through. Good stop, 2.7 seconds. Here comes Perez. So it's closer than I thought it was going to be between us and Perez. Only 4 seconds between them. Hamilton and Verstappen 11 seconds behind. Alright, let's see Carlos hunt down Perez. Gap is just 3.5 seconds. This shouldn't take long. But Perez might even be pitting this lap. No, he stays out. I wonder if Perez is going to soft tyres as well. Leclerc getting held up a little bit with some traffic. He's about to enter his pit window. And Perez pits. Okay, so where's Perez going to come out? He's on medium tyres. There goes Verstappen and Hamilton. He's only 2 seconds behind. And they're fighting and they're on hard tyres, so they're going to be slower. Perez is going to be on that battle really quickly. He's already on the back of Hamilton because Hamilton got held in traffic. Hamilton has been isolated from Verstappen, so Verstappen can finally sprint away. Now, is Verstappen going to be able to pull away from Hamilton, or is Hamilton going to be swapping places with Perez? Oh, he got a really bad exit. He got squeezed on the corner, and Hamilton pits. So now it's the battle of the Red Bulls. Hamilton's going to come out in 6th place, I think. Yes, he does. He comes out in 6th place. Clear of Ocon. Hasn't got to worry about DRS there. Can he chase down Russell? He should be able to. Has Russell stopped yet? Russell has not stopped yet. And Charles is about to. On his next lap. He'll be pitting at the end of his next lap. That gap to Sainz is getting smaller. He's going to have to push hard on those medium, on those new softs to close that gap back up. Sainz might win this. Perez takes the fastest lap. He's getting close. He's getting close to the back of Max.
The tires are dead.
Alright, we're going to have to bring...
Okay, copy.
What are we doing?
We're going to have to bring him in a lap early. Oh, we weren't quite quick enough. He's got to do another lap on very worn tyres. Okay, this could ruin Leclerc's race. I think he'll still comfortably come out ahead of Verstappen, but he's going to have to work really hard now to catch Sainz. Okay. Have we just cost Charles the chance of a win here? Remember, we're trying to stay as neutral as we can when it comes to drivers. We don't want to play favourites. We want to just let them fight and see what happens. There may well come a time towards the end of the season where we have to, you know, pick one over the other and back them. But for now, we just want to enjoy the dominance that we have. Okay, Russell's coming in this lap. And so is Ricciardo, maybe Norris? I'm not sure which one of the two it is. Sainz goes through. Red Bulls are about to cross the line. About now, there we go. So we are comfortably ahead of them. Gap to Sainz, 3.5 seconds. Okay. Off you go. You've got your work cut out for you. Yeah, Russell and Ocon pitting. Which of the Mercedes is pitting? We saw their mechanics out in the garage. It's Ricciardo. I figured it probably would be. Alright, looking for traffic. There isn't any traffic right now. That's a new fastest lap for Sainz. He knows this is the time to push. Where's that McLaren? Is it behind us? icons are so big I can't see where it is on the screen. Where's Ricciardo? Oh yeah, he's behind us. No, he's not. He's in front. Okay, so we've got traffic. Is Sainz up with them? Oh, Sainz is taking Verstappen right, taking Ricciardo right now. No hold up for Sainz. Got to figure this is going to be the lap that Leclerc gets fastest lap. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Sainz got DRS on that lap. We've got a yellow flag, and we've had a crash. Ooh, is this a safety car? How bad is the crash?
Oh, and that's a crash!
It's
We can
Alonso.
take a look now. Okay, so there we have the Alpine.
Oh, he locks up and he's in the barrier.
There's the crash.
Ah, that was avoidable. Okay, so yellow flags. Not even a VSC. 4 seconds the gap now. And we haven't even encountered the traffic with Leclerc yet. Maybe Sainz is going to win this. Alonso in the pit to change that front wing. It's going to drop him potentially out of the points behind his teammate. Yep, Ocon's through. We get past Magnussen, I think that was. No, that was Mick Schumacher. Magnussen's just gone through against Alonso. We get past Norris. No, Ricciardo even. And now we are pushing back onto the back of Carlos Sainz. 3.5 seconds the gap. Just saw the back of Sainz's car there in the very distance. He is closing. Let's take a look at sector times. Leclerc purple in that first sector. That's a new fastest lap for Leclerc.
Fastest car on track.
Okay, the gap is coming down. Look how close their fastest laps are. 1:32.636 for Carlos, or 1:32.615 for Charles Leclerc. That is just 26 thousandths of a second between them. These two are so closely matched on pace right now. But that delta is coming down by a tenth or two a lap. Max is falling further behind. He's broken away from Perez. Perez was chasing him, wasn't he? Perez not quite in DRS range, but he is gaining ever so slowly by the look of it. Hamilton's a long way back in 5th. Comfortably clear of Bottas in 6th. Another couple of tenths down on that gap. 8 laps to go after this lap. 9 including this one. Can Sainz hold on, or is Carlos going to get him? If he gets into DRS, I would have to say it's anyone's guess as to who could win. So Leclerc has to find 1.5 seconds, 1.6 seconds in the next few laps before his tyres fall off a cliff. It is close. It is very close. Let's take a look back. Oh, Verstappen is all over the back. Well, Verstappen's been passed by Perez.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Zhou's had a lock-up. So the Red Bulls are fighting amongst each other. Mick Schumacher just in front of them. Is that going to play a crucial role in who gets the position here? Mick pulls out of the way, both cars through without being impeded. So sensible blue flag running there from Mick. While we watch these two fight, we'll keep an eye on the timing screen. 2.3 seconds the gap now for Leclerc. He is closing, but is he going to close quick enough? Maybe he just needs to get inside a second, and then the DRS is going to pull him right up to the back of Sainz. But if he can't get the DRS before his tyres fall off the cliff, or before they lose their competitive performance, then he's going to struggle. Side by side, Verstappen makes the move. They've got to get past Ricciardo next. They're still fighting each other. 6 laps to go and the gap is 2 seconds. And still it comes down by 1/10 or 2 every lap. Ooh, I don't know if there should be just enough time. At this pace, there should be just enough time for Leclerc to get through. But if there's any traffic, that could prove to be a real problem. And look at that queue of traffic that's coming up. We've got a big fight in front. We've got Magnussen, Alonso. Oh, it keeps changing. So Tsunoda, then Norris, then Magnussen, then Alonso, and then the 2 Ferraris coming up on the back of them. This is going to decide the race with just laps to go. They're going to catch the back of this train. Let's ride on board with Norris. Or ride with Norris as the focus. Let's keep an eye out for those Ferraris. They are catching and catching. It's just 1.6 seconds between them. Oh, we're going to have a real barnstorming finish to this race. Perez has been dropped now by Verstappen. Perez has got the fastest lap. There's the Ferraris. 1.5 seconds, 4 laps to go. And 4 cars in front of them. Who is going to win this race? I'm going to up their pace on both of them just to try and secure the fastest lap. But it is going to bring them into this traffic even faster. Okay, here comes the finish. 3 laps to go, 1.3 seconds the gap. Sainz is in the back of the train. And Leclerc is just gobbling up the gap between them now. He's inside a second, but he's got to get past... He's got to get past Alonso. He does so. Now he's got to get past Norris. Norris pulls out the way. Oh, this is what we like to see. A bit of drama at the end of the race. We've still got Tsunoda and Magnussen fighting each other, swapping positions in front of these two. Sainz is going to get DRS off the pair of them, I think. He is. He's past Tsunoda. Now Leclerc... Oh, Tsunoda just pulls in front of Leclerc. What the hell was he thinking? Has caused a big gap to open up, but Leclerc does have DRS off the back of Tsunoda there. I don't know if Sainz got it. I think he didn't. I think Magnussen was already passed.
After this, one more lap after this.
So this is going to be Leclerc's chance to break the fastest lap, I think. But he's now got a mighty job to catch back up to Sainz. I think Sainz has got this race won. I think Sainz is going to win. I think Leclerc's going to get the fastest lap. But, oh boy, that traffic has really played a part in this. And Perez is back on Verstappen again. The Red Bull's still fighting for the final step on the podium. That gap is still 2 seconds. I don't think Charles got the tyres left to catch him up. I don't even think he's even going to get DRS off the back of Magnussen here. Let's have a look. Does he get DRS? Yes, he did. So he's going to breeze past Magnussen here, as long as Magnussen doesn't do a Yuki. Oh, he's done a Yuki! He's blocked him on the final corner. Leclerc will get DRS again, but that's cost him another second. And that's blown his chance of fastest lap, I think. Oh man, Leclerc getting absolutely screwed by the traffic here. Sainz is going to win. I think Perez might even keep fastest lap here. I don't think I've got the tyres left to push. I don't want to artificially push it any more than I already have done. Leclerc, and we got a yellow flag. What's the yellow flag? Someone ran wide. Show ran wide. That's nothing. That's not going to affect the outcome in any way. Sainz is definitely going to win this. Is he going to be able to get fastest lap? Leclerc is too far behind to do anything. So let's ride on board with Carlos. Is he going to get the DRS? He should do. Will he get held up? It's either Latifi or Albon. I don't know which one. Gets out of the way. Sainz just powers up the inside. Opens the gap up to 3 seconds. Drives for the line. Can he get fastest lap on the line? I don't know. I think he did. I think he did, because Perez no longer has the fastest lap. He did. Sainz got fastest lap at the death.
And Sainz crosses the line
Woo.
first. He's taken the win.
I think Charles is going to knock K-Mag's lights out after the race. I think him and Tsunoda.
And checkered flag.
They cost him. They cost him both the chance of a win and the fastest lap there. Sainz ended up getting both. What a finish!
What a strong lap. Well done.
Slightly contrived in the sense that I deliberately offset the strategies to try and create some late drama like that, rather than just racing on each other's gearbox for the entire race. But you know, it made it interesting. Made it an interesting spectacle at the end there. And that's going to put both drivers level. Charles should still be top by virtue of having got his win first. But these two drivers are going to be equal on points now. Let's see. Verstappen just held off Perez by the slightest of margins. Hamilton comes in 5th, Bottas 6th, Russell 7th, Gasly 8th, Ocon 9th, Zhou's going to be 10th. No one fighting for any positions there. Magnussen, a long way off, does not get anywhere near the points. There we go. It's 2 races done.
What a fantastic result for Carlos Sainz.
I'm amazed we didn't get a safety car. I'm amazed we didn't get a spectacular crash in the race. We've got him in practice.
A truly well-earned podium here, and a dream come true for everyone involved.
Max looking miserable again. Yeah, I'm on here. Didn't get any good points, but yeah, I got a podium.
And with that, the Sainz name remains engraved in F1 history.
Now, if anyone's played a way through the season, they'll know that Red Bull get pretty fast, pretty quick, to the point whether they are usually faster than Ferrari.
Ferrari had a very good race.
So it's going to be up to us
to
keep developing the Ferrari and keep it ahead of the Red Bull.
And it's great to see that pay off.
But we've maximised our points in the first 2 races of the season.
After an intense weekend, the team ends in 1st place in the constructor standings.
And for the next round, Formula One is heading down under. Exciting times ahead in Australia on the shores of the Albert Park Lake.
So there we go. Carlos wins race 2, gets the fastest lap. Charles did have pole position, so no clean sweep, no grand slam for Carlos. In the Drivers' Championship, Charles and Carlos equal on points, but Charles ahead by way of getting his win before Carlos. Max definitely in 3rd, Perez 4th, Lewis 5th, George is 6th. Valtteri Bottas gets some good points, which he arguably should have had in the first race as well if he hadn't speared Lewis. So he moves up to 8th above Zhou Guanyu. Ocon picking up a couple of points to keep him above Fernando Alonso as the lead scorer. In the constructors, Ferrari comfortably top, another maximum 44 points for the team. Red Bull picking up another 3-4, Mercedes another 5-6, I think. Actually, no. Where did Russell finish? Russell finished 7th, so 5th and 7th. So not quite the maximum points haul that Mercedes, respectively, could have got. Haas overtake McLaren in the standings, even though none of them scored points. It's based on the highest finish, and that was Magnussen in 11th. I always wonder how much champagne actually gets drunk in comparison to how much gets sprayed. They probably lose about half to 2/3 of the bottle. But they do have some in there. Most of it doesn't get drunk though. Right. There we go. Any XP points? Nope. In terms of driver bonuses, 1.2 mil payout for Carlos for winning the race. We earned 5 million from our sponsors. We achieved the fastest lap from our performance incentives and the qualifying position. In terms of our guarantees, we got the finish position Q3 and Q2, and then our sponsor base rate 4.2 mil. So we come out of that with just over 3.8 mil in profit. That's not bad. And we have upgraded the race simulator, which means we will increase the amount of experience our drivers get. So that is where we're going to end the stream today. We've had a great first 2 races. I'm probably only going to do the Forza Ferrari once a week. So not sure what day I'm going to do it yet. I might do it on Fridays, Forza Fridays, maybe. So it might be next Friday that we come back to the Ferrari team. I am going to start cutting down on the number of streams a week, just so I have a couple of days off where I don't have to worry about streaming. So we'll probably do maybe 3 streams a week with Haas, and then 1 stream a week with the Forza Ferrari. Ferrari, we are going to be trying to get 2 races in per stream, so they might be slightly longer overall, but we will be getting 2 races through in each of them. So I will see you again. Let's see. It is, what day is it today? I don't even know what day it is. It's Friday now, technically. It's 2:30 in the morning. I will be back with some Haas streaming tomorrow. I will not be streaming Sunday, and then I will see you on Monday for some more streaming. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow, Friday night, and then I will probably not stream again till next Monday. We'll see how I feel after tomorrow night, but until then, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I will see you back with Haas tomorrow.